today, and we are super fucking happy about it. So ladies and gentlemen, let's take a moment to like and empty the space. Let's bring some more people in here to enjoy the celebration.
Yes.
Of the farewell party to the Savior.
Say goodbye, a farewell for this motherfucker that put the fucking video of the fucking hostage. So this is a fucking farewell for me, okay?
Because he shouldn't exist from the get-go. He should have been executed by the Mossad long time ago, and I've been asking for this for a long time. And I was talking to my commander, I'm telling him, listen to me, he needs to go.
I think that you need to gather all the videos, eliminate them.
He deserves to be genocided like all the other Nazis, and he's a convicted fucking criminal. And they pissed the hell out of me. This fucking Hamas and giving them a voice after October 7, and us Jews and Israelis can live peacefully. I hate him.
Great.
I hate him.
Celebrate, celebrate, it's time to celebrate. Another big L for Israel. Celebrate, celebrate, it's time to celebrate. Another big L for Israel. Alarm bells ringing, settlers running, world don't care, bitch, bye bye. Alarm bells ringing, settlers running, world don't care, bitch, bye bye. World don't care, bitch, bye bye. You fucked around and found out. Now it's enough of the mouth. You thought that you could kill kids? Well, I guess that you found out. Epstein regime is in doubt. Iranian missiles at your house. No time left to play victim. The hand of God strikes you down. Alarm bells ringing, settlers running, world don't care, bitch, bye bye. Alarm bells ringing, settlers running, world don't care, bitch, bye bye. World don't care, bitch, bye bye. Tel Aviv is just dust. Burn to rubble, you must. Iran missiles taking flight. I ain't talking about Elon Musk. Special place for you in hell. Last thing you hear is alarm bells. A big boom and a big bang. Tell me, is it too hot in hell? Alarm bells ringing, settlers running, world don't care, bitch, bye bye. Alarm bells ringing, settlers running, world don't care, bitch, bye bye. World don't care, bitch, bye bye. Tel Aviv is just dust. Burn to rubble, you must. Iran missiles taking flight. I ain't talking about Elon Musk. Special place for you in hell. Last thing you hear is alarm bells. A big boom and a big bang. Tell me, is it too hot in hell? Alarm bells ringing, settlers running, world don't care, bitch, bye bye. Alarm bells ringing, settlers running, world don't care, bitch, bye bye. Care, bitch, bye bye.
What's going on, everybody? Can you all hear me loud and clear? Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. Hope you all are having a great Saturday morning or evening, wherever it is you may be watching from today. We've got a special guest joining us in any second now. Just want to make sure the audio is okay. Drop me a 1 in the chat. Make sure that buzzing noise isn't back. We get a buzzing noise sometimes, and yeah, it's quite annoying. But yeah, let me know if that's back. So we got who we got in the chat? We got Potato Overlord. We got RA Redacted. O is the Alien. We got Not the Comfy Chair. Akil. We got Potato Overlord. We got No One X. Yeah, we've got loads of people here. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Today we're going to go over a lot of information, a lot of news. But before we do, I wanted to welcome our special guest for today's episode, and it is none other than Hoz. Can everyone say hello to Hoz? Wait, I don't know what's happened here. Oh wait, Hoz, hello. Can you hear us? Wait, I can't hear Hoz. Bear me 1 second. Just make sure it's not my side. Hello, can you hear me, Hoz? Not sure. 1 second, bear with me. Bear us 2 seconds, guys. No volume there. What's that? We've got a subscriber on YouTube. Thank you for that. I might have to just quickly, if you can hear me, Hoz, I might have to just disconnect you and reconnect you because I'm not sure why I can't hear you. 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Some technical difficulties. Send him another link over. How are you all doing anyway? Are you having a pleasant day? What do you guys think about the ceasefire? Or the supposed ceasefire anyway? Just waiting for him to get back in. Hoz is muted. Yeah, no, I'm not sure what's going on. Never a ceasefire where Israel is concerned. Yeah, I agree, Comfy Chair. I agree. It's unfortunate that ceasefire, exactly. There's no ceasefire as well because we've all seen what's going on in Lebanon still, you know. I can see you, Hoz. Can you hear me? It's very weird. I can't hear you for some reason again. Oh wait, let me try this. Yeah, it says there's no sound. Yeah, you guys can't see him, but I can see him. I'm just need to set that up. Hello? I can hear you, I think.
Yes.
There we
I'm
go.
here.
There we go. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Some technical difficulties. Everyone give a warm welcome to our special guest, Hoz. Thank you so much for tuning in today, brother.
No problem.
How
are you? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. How about yourself?
As you can see, I'm still lying down. I had my operation and it didn't work out. It's a bit of a failure. That's where I'm at, mate. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, man. Hopefully you get better soon.
Inshallah.
Yeah. I suppose, do you want to give a quick intro to the audience for anyone that doesn't know who you are? I'm sure most people do, but for anyone that might be new to seeing your face.
So, my name is Hoz. I'm a British Iranian. I'm a British politician. I'm a member of the Workers' Party of Britain. I have, I was the National Election Coordinator during the last general election, and I'm an advocate of peace. I'm an advocate of not want to see any more wars. I hate empire. I hate Israel. I hate, people that think it's okay to murder people. That's what I do. I hate things that are just bad for humanity, and wars are bad for humanity. That's what I'm about.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. I think we're all here on the same boat as well. We all hate what we're seeing with these Israeli terrorists, especially. I suppose, yeah. First question really is, what's your thoughts of how this whole war with Iran has gone, and do you think that this is the end of it now, or do you think that we're going to see, some more stuff kicking off?
What I'll say to you is that Iran is quite happy to carry on if they want to carry on. But the thing is, Iran has actually got the global economy by the throat at the moment with what it's done with the Straits of Hormuz. There's no military option to open the Straits of Hormuz in any way that will be meaningful, because it took 11 months of ground troops to be built up in the last war for the invasion of Iraq. 11 months, and that took 365,000 soldiers, I think, or American soldiers, or maybe 165,000, I'm not sure. I think the first Iraq war was hundreds of thousands, the second one was less. But again, it took a lot of lead time to do that. And the American troops that came into Saudi Arabia before the invasion and retaking back of Kuwait were not being attacked by Iraq. The difference this time is that the 13 American bases in the region, which is the whole of the Gulf, the Persian Gulf area, have all been destroyed. There are no longer American bases there. There are no American troops left in these bases. All of the bases have been gutted, annihilated, and there's nothing left of them. There's no military personnel that are able to use any of the functioning buildings. And the only way that you can actually get back the Straits of Hormuz, and when I say get back, it's such a hard task to do that you would need hundreds of thousands of people, maybe up to a million people before you could do that. And America doesn't have the money, and it doesn't have the backing of the American people to do that. The American people don't want any more wars, and this president was voted in on the promise of no more wars, no more regime change, don't bring us into any more conflicts in the West Asia. And he came in on those promises and has lied. So the Straits of Hormuz is where 20% of the world's oil comes out of, and a 20% drop in oil, which has happened in the last 42 days, has already pushed the price of oil above $100 or near enough $100, and it's not sustainable. And if they were to try to do a military conflict with trying to take the Straits of Hormuz, the price of oil will go so high, and there would no longer be 20 million barrels of oil coming out of that area. So it's a big problem for the world economy, and Iran has got the world's economy by the throat, and that's where we're at the moment.
Yeah, exactly that. And it's funny that Trump's come out and somehow trying to claim it's a victory for reopening the Strait of Hormuz, which was obviously already open before the war started. So I don't know what land he's living in where that's a victory. And now they're actually charging ships to go through. There's less ships going through. So I don't know what fantasy world Trump's living in.
Well, the reality of the matter is that the Straits of Hormuz was never closed. But now that we've had attacks, now that we've had people killed in Iran, now that we've had children killed, now we've had the leader of the country plus a cadre of high-end, military people that have been killed by the Americans, then quite frankly, Iran's attitude is, we're going to take the Straits of Hormuz and we're now going to control what happens there. And it's the only way we're going to get any money back for the families, for the country. And you've got to bear in mind, Iran has been under sanctions for 47 years. And calculations have been made by the Iranian parliament that is a loss of nearly 800 billion to $1 trillion worth of losses that Iran has suffered in real terms. And that is something that Iran wants to get back, and it will get back, because the attitude is, we're not going to give up on the Straits of Hormuz until we get paid in full for everything. And the only people that can guarantee the safety of those ships are the Iranians. And it has to be done, because Iran's attitude is like, we have tried our best to live in peace with people, but every time we went into a peace deal with someone in June, we got attacked. We went into a peace deal again. Our spokespeople, our negotiators are on their way to Switzerland, and America and Israel attacked. You can't make deals with America. You can't make deals with Israel, because all they're trying to do is do a sucker punch, and they think their sucker punch is going to knock out a country that's the same size as Germany, France, Italy, and Britain. That's how big Iran is. 1.6 million miles of space. So on the maps that you look at, on the world maps, you think Iran is like half the size of France or something. But reality is that Iran is twice the size of Ukraine, and as I said, the same size as Western Europe. If you add Spain to the totality of those, that's 1.9 miles, square miles. So, and Iran is 1.65 million miles. So how big that is. It's a huge piece of landmass. And you can't bomb us with a sucker punch. There isn't enough ammunitions or munitions to be able to conquer the will of 90 million people who are unwilling to bend the knee to anyone, as has been shown in the last few weeks. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but whenever there's conflicts in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, what do you see? You see a mass movement of people towards the borders, going to Turkey, trying to escape the bombing and trying to leave the country. What's happened with Iran is people are flying in from England, from Canada, from Qatar. They're being videotaped at the airports as they're coming and going, what are you doing? They're going, we're coming back here. And they're going, why? We're in war. They've gone, because we want to stand by our country. When you've got people whose attitude is that, you can't defeat them with sucker punches. When you've got a country who they've said we're going to destroy all the bridges and all the power plants, and then you have 10,000 people standing on a bridge, 10,000 people or 2,000, 3,000 people standing around a power plant that's going to get bombed. That's not normal behavior where people just go, well, we know that's a target, so we're going to run away from it. The Iranians are going to the places where these bombings are going to take place. And they're saying, we're quite willing to sacrifice our lives. And if you think you can sucker punch your way into a fight with us and walk away, it's not going to happen. It's not real. In any way, it's not real.
Yeah, exactly that. I completely agree, and I say good on the Iranians for using the Strait of Hormuz for leverage. It's only right, isn't it? They've been, getting bombed by these American and Israeli terrorists for many years, same as the rest of the Middle East. So it's about time someone has some leverage over them as well.
Yeah, I mean, Iran has never asked for a fight, and Iran has warned them from the beginning, and it told all the Gulf countries as well that if we get attacked, we're going to hit you, and you need to get rid of these American bases from your country. They didn't listen. They didn't listen, and they thought, and the shock value for everything is this: no one in a million years thought that Iran was capable of doing what it's doing. No one knew that Iran would be able to deliver missiles every day, as many as it wanted to such devastating effects across the whole of the region. And that is the biggest surprise, because Iran has said we can do it, and everyone's going like, you're just talking rubbish, you can't do nothing, we're going to destroy you this, we're going to destroy you that. The reality of the matter has turned out to be that actually Iran has promised to do X and it's delivered on X. So, that's, you can't, and that's why America right now wants to sue for peace, because what they did was a couple of days ago, they said this is the bridge and power plant day. Tuesday is bridge and power plant day, is what Donald Trump said. And I'm going to put your a civilization will die this night. He thinks he can threaten people with a civilization dying to a civilization that's 5,000 years old, and we're just going to accept that. I don't know, maybe he's some kind of bully that's going to scare people. Reality of the matter is that stuff doesn't wash with Iranians. It doesn't wash. In fact, it doesn't wash with anyone that's got courage. And there are many other countries that have shown that same courage. And, like Vietnam has done that, Laos, Cambodia, all of these countries also stood up for themselves. And they made America pay. And America has paid. And America's now going through a ritual humiliation. That's what it is at the moment. It's a ritual humiliation because they've got aircraft carriers which are supposed to be, the bee's knees, $13 billion for the Gerald Ford, which is the world's most advanced, biggest aircraft carrier. Well, it got hit by a missile, and guess what? It walked away from the combat. And they've said, they threw some toilet paper, the toilet wasn't working. Really? The toilet wasn't working? Okay, fine. The toilet wasn't working. The important thing is that aircraft carrier is no longer working. Their other aircraft carrier, the USS Lincoln, came towards what's it called, the Arabian Sea, which is, you know, the sea between India and between the Gulf area, and missiles, surface to sea missiles went towards the USS Lincoln. Two of them hit it, and they withdrew their aircraft carrier out of range to about 800 miles. It's like 1,100 kilometers range away from, and it's now deep in the Indian Ocean. So this projection of power that these aircraft carriers are supposed to bring them and give them to be able to, you know, scare people has evaporated overnight, and they can't do any of that stuff. They're not able to project anything. The only thing they've projected is their president saying, I can do this, I can do that. And what have they done? They've bombed kids' schools, they've bombed universities, they've bombed bridges, they've bombed everything that, you know, to hurt the civilian population. And this guy is supposed to be the guy that's coming to save the Iranian people from the so-called regime, you know, the so-called regime that has got, I don't know, 2 or 3 million people across the country every night on the streets. Do they look like they need saving from you, Donald? They don't. All of this is being done for Israel, because Israel can't have anybody else be a regional power. And Iran is a regional superpower. It's not a superpower like America or Russia or China, but it is a regional power. And it's the most powerful nation in the area because it has, as you can see, deleted, and I'm happy to say deleted, all the American bases. Their servicemen are going to sit in hotels. They're in hotels because they don't want to be on their bases. And even when they're in their hotels, the CIA office in Dubai was destroyed as well. When they find out what hotel they're in, what floor they're on, the Iranians are targeting that floor to kill the American servicemen because they want them out. And guess what? They've left. They're not there anymore. And they can't do anything about it. They cannot do anything about it. That's it.
Yeah, and you're saying it's funny as well, they talk about regime change, but it seems like the only place that needs a regime change is in America. Have you seen how many people have turned against Trump? There was even that No to Kings protest, I think it was called, the other day in America, and then there was like millions of people all across America trying to, you know, tell Trump to get lost, basically. So I think they need to take a look at their own country before they start trying to dictate what happens in countries that have nothing to do with them.
See, the problem is actually not America. The problem actually is Israel. And the problem is that Israel has been controlling the foreign policy of the United States of America for decades. Since they killed Kennedy in '63, Lyndon Johnson's capitulated, gave them nuclear weapons. And the nuclear weapons that they got was designs from Germany, help building it from France. Afzal Khan gave them the schematics of how to actually make the nuclear bomb. They stole the nuclear material from America with the help of the Jewish mafia. And they were not supposed to have any of this stuff. Israel's the only country that has got nuclear weapons that is not declared that they have nuclear weapons. And they have decided what happens in America's foreign policy for them. Almost everything that you can think of has been in the last 25, 30 years. Every war that's been started has been on behalf of Israel. Iraq, Libya, Syria. All of these countries were countries that were unwilling to bend the knee to Israel. One after another, after another, after another. They have been put into a position where they are unable to be a threat to Israel because they've been occupied with American military forces, bases, and whatever else. That's what happened to Iraq. But that's changed again now because of the attack on Iran. The Shia people in Iraq have risen up and said, we're at war with America now. We're at war with Israel now. So is Lebanon. So is Yemen. Israel is the problem. It's not America. Because America, I like to call them the WWW, the weak-willed wankers. That's what they are, weak-willed wankers. Because if they had a backbone, they'd have told Israel, you can't do anything and you can't attack any more people. Because the military of Israel is unable to project power beyond the their aircraft flying distances, and their planes can't go beyond the border of Iraq and back without needing refueling. And who does the refueling? The American Air Force with their KC-135s. That's how they're able to project their planes to go into Iran. So they couldn't even, and they can't, they've run out of what you call standoff munitions. So you know the difference between a standoff munition and a normal munition. So the JDAM, for instance, is a 2,000-pound bomb that they drop from a plane, and it uses gravity to drop onto a place. It's got fins on it that allow it to go to the laser-pointed target area. Okay, but that is a gravitational thing. Then you've got the other weapons, which we call like the long-distance weapons. So you fire the missile, and it travels 500 kilometers. So you fire that from the skies above Iraq, or even from Syria, and you can start hitting targets in Western Iran, military targets or whatever. In fact, universities is what they've been hitting. When they've run out of these munitions, what you call standoff munitions, they've got to fly into Iran proper and drop bombs. And you've seen in the last few weeks, F-35 has gone down, 3 F-15s have gone down, another F-18 has gone down, A-10 Warthog has gone down, and it's not safe for them because Iran has got an integrated air defense system, and that integrated air defense system is able to take these planes down. Their stealth is not working. An F-35 was taken down, and that's supposed to be the stealthiest thing in the universe. Guess what? It got taken down. So Israel cannot project anything except its closest neighbors like Lebanon, which has been destroying. They can't do that to Iran because it's too far away. But Iran can reach Israel every day of the week. And they've depleted all of the air defense missiles that they had in the Iron Dome, the David Sling, Arrow 1 and 2, all of these things, and all the THAAD systems that the Americans brought have had their eyes blinded and died. They're not able to see anything. So whenever Iran fires stuff at them, it lands in Israel. So that's the projection of power of Iran, and the projection power of Israel without America is we can only bomb Syria, we can only bomb Iraq, we can only bomb Lebanon. We can't reach many other places because the distance is too far for them, and they need the support.
Yeah. What do you think the reason why Israel has so much control over America is? Do you think it's got anything to do with Epstein or anything like that, or do you think there's something?
100%. What I would say is the Epstein class is the group of people who are, and if you look, like Whitney Webb has done some work on this, yeah, she's an author, and you look at the client list, the Epstein client list, it's almost all of them are Jewish, and they are rich Jewish people, and a lot of them are sick individuals in the sense that they are, I think it comes to a point where money doesn't count anymore. It's the power that you have over life that matters to these people. They enjoy torture. They enjoy murdering people. They enjoy, I don't want to ruin your YouTube channel by saying things, but you know what I'm saying, and I'm telling you that that's the Epstein class of people. Now they have got people who are in the American political class. All of them are compromised. One way or another, they've got these people compromised with videos, or they've said to them, you stay in power while you work for us. You will be able to do whatever you want as a political person, so long as you remember who the big daddy is, and the big daddy's Israel. So, you know, in America, they've got elections every 4 years. And do you know who the winner of the election is every single time? Israel. Israel is the only winner every time. It doesn't matter what president they get. It doesn't matter what House of Representatives, whether they get a Republican or a Democrat, they've always got an Israeli first. So they bought the politicians. They've got the most beautiful everything. They make you into a Hollywood star. They've got the media. They brainwash the American public. They brainwash the world with all of these TV shows where they make themselves out to be the most intelligent saviors of the universe people, and like Israelis are the best, Jews are the best. So they sort of brainwash you into thinking that you need them. So it's psychological, it's financial, it's coercive through compromat. So it's a whole battery of different things that they deploy to make sure that America does as it's told. But I don't want you to think of it as America. I want you to think of it as Britain as well, Germany and France. Because all of these countries, if you look at what's happening if you protest against Israel in Germany, if you have the Palestinian flag, the police beat the shit out of you and take the flag off you and arrest you. That is supposed to be freedom of speech in Germany, but not if it's against Israel. France is the same. And we are in this country not allowed to say I support Palestine Action, because if you do, Palestine Action is a terrorist organization. Now, I think you know that I was the first person in the country to declare that I support Palestine Action live on Twitter. I did it as a video on 2 minutes past 12 o'clock on the night of the 4th of July, which is like 2 minutes into the 5th of July. Palestine Action became a prescribed, terrorist organization under section 12(1)(a) of the Terrorism Act 2000. Why? Because Israel are the people that have told the British government and the Home Secretary that this Palestine Action, which is a group of young people who are going to what you call the Elbit factories, and Elbit factories are the ones who build the drones, or the parts for the drones, and the drones are built in these Elbit factories. These drones are the ones that are being used to deploy into Gaza. And I don't know if you know or not, but I'm going to just tell you that they've got a drone that makes the noise of a baby crying. Yeah? So people hear the baby crying, all come out. And then what they've got is they've got another program called Lavender. Lavender is an AI targeting. It's got a facial recognition on it. And that same technology is being used by Palantir for the police in our country very soon, so they can see who's who by walking around. They look at the person whose face it is, and if it recognizes the face of the person, they wait for that person to go inside their house, and another app is used. It's called like Call Daddy or Wait for Daddy or something, and they wait for the person who's a target to go into a house, and then that drone fires missiles or becomes the targeting agent for a missile, a JDAM, to go into a house and destroy a complete bloodline. There's been, it's been documented, something like 50 or 60 complete bloodlines of Palestinians have been killed. And they're using technology that is made by these drones that are made by Elbit Systems, which is an Israeli, it's the Israelis' largest manufacturer. And it's made in Bristol. It's made in, I think, Lancashire. They've got these factories. And Palestine Action are a group of young people that are going to crash into these buildings and throw red paint all over the place, because these drones, when they make them, have got to be done in a very hygienic environment, because they can't have any dust or dirt or anything mess up, and it messes up their whole factory line. And because Palestine Action chose to attack Elbit System, which, as I've described, is an integral part of the genocide that's been carried out, the British government has chosen, through the Home Secretary, to prescribe, without a vote in Parliament, just an order from the Home Secretary that we can't have Israel being upset with us, so we have to make them a terrorist organization. That's Israel's influence. So it's not just America, it's Western civilization, Western side of countries. Like Spain is not part of that. Italy is breaking away from that. Hungary is part of that. But Hungary is because they're as racist as the Zionists are. So it's complicated, but Israel does have a lot of power over a lot of people, and it is compromise money, and in Germany I think it's more guilt than anything else, but they've got so many people that rely on this money from the Zionists to keep their economy going, that they are where they are.
Yes, it's crazy times that we're living in right now. Yeah, I was gonna say as well, what's your thoughts about the the talks going on today, in Islamabad regarding the ceasefire? Do you think that they'll go to plan, or because we've seen Israel still bombing Lebanon like this whole time?
It's not bombing it today, though.
Yeah, I did see some videos this morning. I don't know if they're from this morning though, but I saw some.
Well, the thing is, the Iranians have said we're only going to come and have this ceasefire conversation or the peace talks if Lebanon is not being attacked. So if they start attacking Lebanon, they'll get on their plane and come back to Iran, and then we'll see what happens next. So long as Lebanon is not attacked, so long as all the other resistance countries are no longer being attacked, then it's possible for us to get some kind of quiet in the neighborhood. And Iran wants reparations, and reparations through the Straits of Hormuz, and also they want all sanctions removed. If they agree to the 10 terms that Iran has put in place, then we will have peace. But if they don't, then we'll just go back to a conflict.
Yeah.
And we'll see who can endure it. Because you've got to bear in mind, as I said, Iran is the same size as 4 or 5 European countries. Israel is the same size as New Jersey. So it doesn't take a lot of munitions to flatten Israel in comparison to what you'll need, even with nuclear weapons, to destroy Iran. You can kill a lot of civilians, but it doesn't stop the missile cities from delivering pain every day until you are glass. And that's what Israel's future could look like. Or they can come to terms with living with their neighbours as peaceful people.
Yeah, I think Israel, they can't go a day without having blood on their hands, can they? Because as soon as that ceasefire came in, remember, it was like 250 people in Lebanon killed. And then, did you see the other day as well, it's the 60-day period's up where they told Hamas to disarm their weapons in Palestine. So that's probably going to be the new thing now. If this ceasefire goes ahead, then they'll probably double down in Gaza again. That's my opinion on it anyway. I'm not sure what you think.
I wouldn't put it past them. And Hamas are never going to give up their weapons. And anyone that does give up their weapons is an idiot, because Israel has never treated anyone that's been disarmed with anything other than contempt and death, and the settlers will do what they want with people, which is what's happening in the West Bank. People's properties have been taken off them. Israeli settlers are moving in. They're putting up barriers and walls and saying you can't come past this point anymore. That's the checkpoint. You're no longer here. Well, that's my land. It doesn't matter. It's now in a military zone, and you're not allowed here as a Palestinian. You don't have the right ID to be able to walk past this gate that we've just arbitrarily put here because we've just taken more land. And that is what's going to happen to anyone who's disarmed. That's it. Being disarmed is stupid. You've got to stay armed, and you've got to fight to the last man. That's the only thing they'll understand.
Yeah, 100%. That's all Israel understands is violence. They're definitely not the talking type, are they? Also, what do you think about the future of the UK? Do you think there's any political parties that will be able to put a change to this Israel influence, or are we pretty screwed?
So what I'll say to you is, last general election, George Galloway should have been a member of Parliament.
100%.
And the security services, I'm sure, with the help of the Labour Council, made sure that George lost his election. We had a video of a person walking in with 2 boxes of papers, voting papers. And I've told you privately, and I'm going to repeat it one more time here. I was one of the people that was in charge of the count on behalf of George, because I'm George's right-hand man. I work for George directly. And I asked one of my staff to go and count how many rolls, and the rolls are made up of 100 votes. So when you've got 100 people's votes on paper, they roll it into a roll of 100, and they put it on the table. So you've got a roll, loads of rolls on this table, next table, next table. And there's 20 odd tables, 21 tables, where people bring the boxes in, they get emptied out, and then people pull out the papers and go, that's for Paul Ward, that's for George Galloway, that's for the Labour, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We had 122 rolls, which is made up of normally up to 100. Okay? Some of them may be less because once they finish counting, it's not always 100. The last one may be like 53 or 54 or whatever. I asked one of my staff to go and count how many rolls we had, how many rolls Paul Wall had. We had 122, so did Paul Wall. And it turned out that in the end, Paul Wall had 13,000 something and George had 11,000 something. And the difference was like 1,400. Now you can't get 14 rolls or 1,400 in difference in paper when you've got 122 rolls. Everyone's got 122 rolls. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? It's just not possible. And we saw, and I've shown you the video, I think, of people walking in with 2 boxes at 12:28 in the evening, and they've turned around and said that's the mail ballots. Now, by law, you're not allowed to start counting anything until the mail ballot papers have come in and are put inside of all of the, the ballot papers. But they brought in extra papers, extra voting papers, and George's numbers ended up being less than Paul Wall. I've got the video, and it shows a member of staff that works for the council. And the reason I say like 12:28 is this: the count's supposed to start at about 10:20, 10:30. The council has all the mailbox, all the mail votes, like the by mail, by post mail votes, and those are at the council until 10 o'clock. And at 10 o'clock, they can't accept any more paperwork. And what they're supposed to do then is take those mailboxes and bring them to the counting area. Now, the distance in a car from where that box is in the council to where the counting office is in a car is 3 minutes. 3 minutes in a car. If you were to walk with the 2 boxes from the council to the counting office, it's 5 minutes. 5 minutes walking distance. And yet it took them till 12:21 or something for them to bring the boxes in. Why does it take you 2 hours and 20 minutes for a distance of 3 minutes or 5 minutes max for those boxes to come in? What did you do? Who was there with you? No one. Who brought it in? Just 2 members of office staff from the council. So what I'm saying to you is, we don't have a democracy in England. Whoever they put in, they're putting in on behalf of Israel. Jeremy Corbyn, by rights, should have been the Prime Minister of this country in 2016. But the whole apparatus of state worked against him. And you know why? Because they asked him a very simple question. Jeremy, are you willing to support Israel in its right to do what it wants to do? And Jeremy said, of course not. And therefore, Jeremy could not become the Prime Minister. And that is democracy. That is Britain. Keir Starmer is an agent of the state. He was the Attorney General during the Jimmy Savile days. Jimmy Savile was the most prolific paedophile in power. And by power, I mean like he was supplying children to the men of power in Britain that was being used to blackmail them, to keep them in line and in order. That's through paedophilia is what they were doing. That's British democracy. Because Jimmy Savile's paperwork, which showed that he was a paedophile, a prolific paedophile, the Attorney General was Keir Starmer and said, I don't have enough evidence. And yet after he dies, all the evidence is there for people to say what he did, he did. All of those kids that are now grown-ups are allowed to come out. We are a nation that unfortunately is at the beck and call of the Israeli state. Because whether you've got a Tory in charge or you've got a Labour in charge, it didn't stop the genocide in Gaza. If anything, the only thing you heard coming out of the mouth of Rishi Sunak and Boris Johnson and everyone else has always been, Israel has the right to defend itself. What they mean is Israel has the right to commit genocide. And when Labour came in, they did exactly the same thing. There was no difference in the British establishment's attitude towards Palestine or Gaza. It was a continuation of exactly the same policy as before, which is Israel can do what it likes and we will just sit here and not only cheerlead, but we'll actually help them, because we have airplanes in Cyprus that are getting up every day during the what's it called, the genocide, that would fly over to Gaza and would stand there in a circle. One time they forgot to turn off their responder, or what does it call it, the flight recorder thing, and you saw this plane that flew from Cyprus over Gaza, and then it went in a circle for hours, and that was relaying intelligence and data and electronics to allow Israel to target people. We are absolutely complicit as the British people, not the people actually, because it's not right, because the British people have come out in their hundreds of thousands every other week, but the government and the civil service and the army and the military are complicit in this genocide. So that's where we are. I don't have zero faith in our country as a democracy. I look at us as an extension to demon worshippers of the Epstein class, of the Jewish supremacists, of the people that want to see the Greater Israel Project come into reality. But they're not going to win. They're not going to win.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny because whenever you talk about the Great Israel Project online, you get Zionists trying to comment saying, "Oh, that's just an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory." But we literally saw Bezalel Smotrich, was it like yesterday or the day before? He was literally, doing a speech saying how he's happy that the expansion of the Great Israel Project is getting along well. He was talking about the settlements in the West Bank. He was talking about how he wants to extend it into Lebanon. So like, these guys are literally telling us to our faces that this is what they want to do, but then people are still trying to say, no, you're being anti-Semitic, like it's just a conspiracy theory, but it's really not. That's what they want.
I agree with you. There's no doubt whatsoever that these people are mentally deranged. They are. I just don't understand how they think they're going to get away with it. I mean, the Greater Israel map is from the Nile or from the Suez Canal. All of that land belongs to Israel. All of Jordan will go. Syria and Iraq up to the Euphrates will go. Lebanon will go, all the way up to Turkey, and a part of Turkey which is where it touches Syria on the Mediterranean. Like that is the Greater Israel Project, and they've got these badges on their soldiers' arms. And Smotrich and Ben Gvir are two members of the most right-wing groups of people there are that Benjamin Netanyahu is now in bed with. Because if he is not prime minister, he'll be going to prison immediately. He's got corruption cases against him, which have been kept at bay because he's at war all this time. He's been at war since the 7th of October 2003. We're now in 26. We're in April, May of 2026. This guy should be in prison by now. He has been getting jewelry from a guy called Aaron Shillon or something. He's been getting money from all sorts of people. His wife is getting champagne bottles. She's an alcoholic. They get cigars. All of these things have been given to them. The Adelsons have given them money, given them jewelry. It's ridiculous. So there's a program called the BB Files. People should watch that. And it's basically, the BB Files are police interviews with Benjamin Netanyahu, his wife, and other people that show that this guy is just, the power of being the prime minister for so many years has gone to his head, and he thinks he is King David of the Bible, and he can do what he likes and whatever he wants to do. And that's where we're at. This guy is just a megalomaniac, and he knows he's got a prison cell waiting for him. I think what he wants to do is die in office because he doesn't have to go to prison. And until then, either Israel's going to get completely annihilated and destroyed, or he's going to go to prison. That's it. Those are the two options. And they have to surrender or stop. And I think that will be the end of his prime ministership. Because you know what, in Israel right now, this ceasefire that's taken place, the opposition are pissed off with Benjamin Netanyahu that there is a ceasefire. So there is no two sides to wanting peace in Israel. Both sides want this war to continue against Iran. Even though they're getting bombed into the Stone Age. They still want to fight. That's the mentality of these people.
Yeah, but do you think we'll actually see like Netanyahu go to prison though? If the wars will stop, like who's actually gonna send him down? Because I feel like these guys are so corrupt. You know, judges will start dying. Who knows what? Like, it's just hard for me to believe. Like maybe it could happen, but I don't know.
No, it will happen because there's form for the Israelis of sending their presidents to prison. You know, he won't be the first prime minister that's going to go to prison. He won't be the last prime minister or president to go to prison. So Israeli police will put him in prison, and it's literally he is literally trying to avoid court dates. He's got a court date tomorrow. He's got a court date tomorrow, Sunday. He's got a court date that he's supposed to be in court for. But because he's at war, he's going to say, I can't come because I'm at war. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? That's the kind of person he is.
Yeah, it's evil, and it doesn't. You know, it's not even just Netanyahu as well. Because I feel like, say if he gets dealt with, if he dies or if he goes to prison, then they all just seem as bad as each other. Like it's mad out there.
I just told you that the opposition are as bloodthirsty as he is.
Exactly, man. It's crazy. Yeah, Lapid, all those guys. It's insane.
There's no difference between either side. They are. You know, they did polls on what's it called on the Gaza, what should happen. Like 40% of the people turned around and said they'd be happy to see every living soul in Gaza killed, not even transferred out, killed.
Yeah, and do you know, like the average Israeli on the street, they all have the same views as well. Like my sort of view on it is if you didn't agree with what was going on, you'd get out of there ASAP. You know, you wouldn't want to be involved in all of this war and everything like that. And you know, they're censoring the information as well. You know, when the Iran war was proper heavy, anyone out there that was videoing it and stuff like that would end up being put in prison. So it's mad out there.
It's a 5-year prison sentence to be caught filming Tel Aviv or any other bomb site now. A 5-year prison sentence. They went round and not shut down CCTV cameras. They destroyed all the CCTV cameras in Israel, in Tel Aviv. And the reason was because there's a hacker group called Handala that had hacked into their CCTVs and was watching the streets of Israel. This Handala group, which is also the one that has, you know, I don't know, did you see the video of Kash Patel dancing?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Okay, so that was the Handala group. They are Iranian hackers, and they're actually all girls.
Really?
They're all women hacker group that have hacked into the FBI, you know, Kash Patel's FBI, his email, his phone, everything. And they did the same with Israelis, with Israeli generals, with Israeli prime ministers. Like 50 gigs of emails, 50 gig of emails. And you know the guy who's, what's his name, Ehud Barak. Ehud Barak's emails were all leaked out by Handala. All of them, the ones he had with Jeffrey Epstein. All of them were published out there. They're there. And so they've destroyed the CCTV because they knew that the Iranians were able to, to see what's happening in their country. And if tomorrow they turn around and said, oh, we're not getting bombed that badly, we're okay, they can just grab videos of bombs hitting all over Tel Aviv and say, actually, you look like you're ruined, mate. But you don't see anything of Tel Aviv anymore. There's no videos from them. CNN doesn't show anything. No one shows anything of Tel Aviv anymore. Why? If they're doing so well, let's just have it. Whereas in Iran, CNN are in Iran, all the different TV channels are giving news in Iran, and no one is stopping them from going anywhere they want. That's the difference. That's the difference.
Yeah, Iran, they don't care about, they let the world know they're very real. That's why, you know, when there was like, what countries was it that got bombed? Like Azerbaijan, the Cyprus base, a few things were bombed, and Iran denied all like involvement in it. And that's what I thought, that if Iran did do it, they would admit it, you know, because they've admitted all the other stuff. So what reason would they have to hide that? And it's the same as letting, you know, news agencies into their country.
The thing is this, what Iran has done is I call it, this is what I call it. So they call the talking heads call it the escalation ladder. The escalation ladder is people do one thing, you escalate and reply, you escalate and reply. What I call Iran's policy is a defensive escalatory ladder. And that is, you hit one of our things, we'll hit 5 of your things in 5 different countries, okay? But we give you a warning that we're going to do it. We tell you the targets we're going to hit, so you don't end up having anyone die there. So when we said we're going to attack this gas plant, they were given 24 hours notice, and then that gas plant was hit. So they could try and defend against it, but they were unable to. Whereas the Israelis go and attack things in Iran, universities, schools, hospitals, railway stations, rail bridges, whatever they want, they just go and attack it without warning. Iran does the opposite. It always warns them, so we're going to target this gas field, that refinery. That's different, you know, and it's a decent way of doing war. When you are a humane, what's it called, army, you're a humane armed forces, because you don't want people to die. Because Iranians are not interested in killing some Pakistani or Bengali or other member of staff that's working, so happens to be working in an oil refinery. Don't send them there for today, because that refinery is going to get turned into toast. And that's what they do. Whereas the Israelis just attack everything.
Yeah,
because
so go on.
they actually enjoy, they think by killing people in Iran, they're actually scaring the people. The reality is that Iranians are basically the followers of Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein died as a martyr. And do you know what it means to die as a martyr? Do you know what it means or not, Josh?
No, sorry, go on. I thought you just said.
Okay, so when someone dies as a martyr, it means that they're dying for their religion, they're dying for their people, they're dying for their nation, and it's a pleasure for them to die for that. Imam Hussein, in the stories of the Quran, he's like the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad. When he died in the most cruel way. But they said to him, you know, you can just accept that this other guy is the king and your family is not. And he refused. And he died in his faith. When you kill Iranians, all you're doing is reinforcing the attitude of martyrdom in the whole of the country. Iranians are happy to be martyred for their country. That's why people fly in from America. That's why people fly in from Canada to a bomb site. They fly back in and go, I'd rather die and defend my country and stand and suffer with my people than to be safe somewhere else. You can't defeat people like that. You can't bomb people like that and scare them. All you're doing is creating a greater cohesive force of love and spirituality for people that want to be one unit. And when they killed 168 kids in that first day with a triple tap attack, yeah? And you got to bear in mind, when they hit them with the Tomahawk missiles, these Tomahawk missiles have got real-time video, so they can see where they're hitting. And it looks like a schoolyard. It's got painting of school kids and whatever else on the walls. You hit it once, then you hit it a second time. When they got moved to a prayer room, you sent the third missile. And they think they're going to break the will of the Iranian people. All you did was make a nation even stronger mentally to say, you know what? They have to pay. We're not giving up. They pressed the wrong button.
It's
Pressed the button with the Iranians.
what you were saying as well about how Iran was warning them before they was bombing them. Do you remember Israel and Gaza were literally telling them, yeah, go to Rafah, that's the safe zone, and then they was hitting Rafah, so they're literally sending the civilians to their death. That's
yeah, I mean, Israel is an abomination of, and they've got the gall to turn around and say that Israel has the most moral army in the world. I don't know what's moral about telling people to go to a safe zone and then bombing the safe zone because you think it's funny. And they think it's funny. You know, I need to know what's so moral about an army that I saw a video of yesterday. of a 9-year-old kid getting shot in the chest. In the chest. Why have you got to shoot as a sniper a 9-year-old kid? What's moral about that? What threat is a 9-year-old to you in Gaza? And you're sitting behind a distance of a fence which keeps you away from them, and they're not allowed anywhere near you. And yet, because you saw a kid in a telescope, you decide to snatch his life out of his heart and just shoot him in the chest and kill him. That's Israelis. That's the most moral army in the world. That's a democracy. That's their idea of democracy.
Yeah, these guys literally, we've seen like countless videos of Israelis going through Palestinians' underwear drawers, playing football in houses, dressing up as crocodile. Like, I've seen the lot, I've actually seen the lot looking over Twitter over these last few years, and that's not what the most moral army does.
No, they're depraved, they're mental. I don't know why anyone would want to wear a woman's clothing, in a war zone. I mean, I can understand why Lindsey Graham does things like that, and some of these other British politicians that cross-dress and whatever else, they have these parties and they do these things with. But if you're in a war zone, why would you do that? They think they're humiliating people. What they're actually doing is showing the world that they're mentally disturbed. No one is feeling like, you've taken a Palestinian woman's clothes and put them on and what? You're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. You're doing nothing other than making yourselves look like, idiots, lunatics. That's it.
Yeah, no worries. And I'll say one more thing really, regarding all the Iran stuff. What's your thoughts on how these Gulf nations have been treating it? Like the UAE, Saudi Arabia, these sort of countries. What do you think about their position in this war?
I feel sorry for Qatar because I was born in Qatar. It's the only one I feel sorry for, and that's only because I was born there. My son is there. My brother Kayvon is there. My aunt Emina is there. My cousin Siamak is there. His wife and 4 kids are there. I don't want anything to happen to Qatar because my own family are directly there. By the same token, other people have got families in those countries as well. But you've got to bear in mind that these countries are the ones that paid for America to come there. So the American base, Al Udeid Air Force Base, was not paid for by American taxpayers. That Air Force Base was paid for and built by the Americans, paid for by the Qatari government, who said, please come to this country, we feel threatened, and we want you to basically be here to give us the reassurance of the shield of America's defenses, and we're part of your alliance, and we're good friends of yours. You're going to defend us against Saudi Arabia, against UAE, against this, that, and the other, and also against Iran and whatever else, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you didn't have those bases in your countries would have not been attacked. But because you sponsored the Americans to be there, because you paid for the early warning systems to be there, you paid for that, then whatever happens to you, you have that coming, because in the end, the projection of power from the Persian Gulf countries has been used to kill Iranians. And why should Iranians suffer that? Why should Iranians be the people that have to put up with death and mayhem from the sky? A lot of it is being refueled from Saudi Arabia. So I've got no sympathy whatsoever for them. And the worst one out of all of them is East Israel. East Israel is the worst one out of all of them. And East Israel is the UAE, by the way, yeah?
Yeah.
In case you know, yeah, it's East Israel because they're the first country that signed the Abraham Accords. So I call them East Israel because my mate Ryan Dawson called them East Israel with one of my friends, Suleiman. They were together in a podcast, and he said East Israel. You know what? If that country gets destroyed, I'd have no qualms, no problems. I couldn't care less, because that country and its government has been responsible for the genocide that's taken place in Sudan, because their armed forces are the ones that have been involved in, the famine that's been caused in Yemen. They've paid for people from Al Qaeda and everyone else to go in there and murder and butcher people. They are not a force for good when you know, in the greater balance of humanity, the good things that people do as a nation and the bad things people do as a nation, UAE, East Israel, is a debtor to the world because of the amount of grief that it's brought to it. It's an absolute disaster of a country. They've used their money to help lobby Europeans against Muslims. They're the ones who sit there and say, Muslims are bad, Muslims this, that, and the other. They're paying for think tanks in Europe to increase Islamophobia. They're doing that on behalf of Israel because Israel wants Islamophobia to be higher so that right-wing people and Muslims fight each other so that people are always in conflict with each other. That's the plan. I don't want to see people getting on with each other, which is why you've got the EDL, which is started by, you know, your mate, Mr. What's his name? Stephen Yaxley Lennon. And he got paid by Israel. And that organization was called the Israeli English Front or something. I can't remember exactly, but it was the original company name had the word Israel in it. England and Israel is as the thing. And when it comes to nations doing the right thing, I can happily say that Iran has always done the right thing. And I'll say why that is. Because they supported the people of Iraq. They supported the people of Lebanon. They supported the people of Venezuela. They've supported the people of Cuba. They supported the people of South Africa against apartheid. Did you know that when Nelson Mandela went to see all the leaders of the countries that were supportive of him and the ANC, when he walked in to see Sayyid Ali Khamenei, the first words that came out of his mouth to him was, "My leader." He said that to the Iranian supreme leader because Iran supported the ANC against apartheid. Iran has supported countries against Israeli apartheid, whereas the UAE has helped murder people in every place that its money can go to. And it's doing it on behalf of the instability and chaos that it's bringing to the region so that countries are not a threat to Israel. And because it's what Israel demands of them. Which is why, like, in this war that's happened, the UAE has turned around and said, "We are with Israel." Okay, be with Israel. You're not going to be with Israel for long because you're going to get done. And I hope they do get done because I don't think that family are good people. I don't think they are. They've done no good to the world. All they've done is bring chaos and death and mayhem. So that's how I feel about the UAE. Saudi Arabia is what it is. It's a big, large economic, powerhouse. But all of them are so easy to destroy. Every single one of these countries are desert countries that have got an overpopulation. You know, if you look at like a country like Iran, for instance, it's got natural resources like water that allows it to keep its population at 90 million odd people because it's got rivers, lakes, water, rain, and whatever else. Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, all of them have got something called desalination plants. Those desalination plants are blown up and they are like big, fat, juicy targets that will take not many drones or missiles to disable them and will take years to rebuild. And they've got populations in their millions and living in those countries. And they won't be able to live because you can't live without water. And that's what will happen to them. So it's you know, I feel sorry for Qatar, but the others, I don't feel sorry for them at all because their locations, Kuwait and Bahrain, have been used to attack Iran. Saudi Arabia has been used to attack Iran. UAE has been as a platform as well. The Qataris have also turned around. I think the Qataris have not been attacked since the 19th of March because they've turned around and said to Iran, we're not going to let them do anything from here. Those Americans are gone, we're not doing anything. And I think that's what's held. I'm not sure, but I think that's what's held. For instance, when they said we're going to attack these bridges, this, and the other, they picked a target in Qatar they're going to blow up, but they didn't in the end. They didn't attack it. So.
And that's all Iran said from the beginning, wasn't it? They said, listen, like, we've hit you, you've hit us. Stop letting these American terrorists bomb us. And that's it, you can stay out of it. But, you know, loads of them chose not to listen. So that's why the attacks
Yeah,
continued.
they were told, get rid of these American bases because American bases are making you a target, and the air defense systems they've got and whatever else. Like for instance, the air defense systems that Qatar has got.
Mm.
It didn't stop the missiles coming from Israel when they attacked them earlier in the year in 2025. It didn't even see it. It didn't even register.
Yeah,
Those missiles, air defense systems, the batteries they've got, Patriot batteries, didn't even see that missile coming. Why is that? Why is the missile that comes from Israel not detected by your air defense systems? Why have you got no defense to it? Are you not a sovereign state, or is Israel allowed to attack you without you being able to defend yourself? So the Americans have got systems in place that they have backdoors that only work for whoever they want it to work with. So you have no sovereignty with having these defense systems in your lands. Those defense systems are actually a projection of power for the United States of America and for Israel, in effect. They're not for you. And whenever, when you are using them, they're using them to defend their air bases, not Qatari resources. That's it,
yeah, it's insane. Myself, I think that's pretty much all really, Hos, but thank you so much for coming on the show today.
My pleasure.
Do you want to give a shout out to your socials where people can find you?
Do a Google search for Hoz.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're not on YouTube? I think
Do a Google search for Uncle Hoz, and I'm sure you'll find all of my stuff. I don't do any of this stuff for my social media stuff. I don't really care about it. I don't get paid for it. I do everything I do out of love for my country, out of my love for Britain, out of my love for Iran and Qatar, and I do what I do for humanity. So my social medias are not important at all. I don't make my living or money or income from them. So if you care, Uncle Hoz, go and find it. I'm not bothering.
Yeah, I'll say once I clip the videos up anyway, I'll put it in the description, your Insta and your X account.
Thank you.
Are you not on YouTube, are you? Or you don't post on there?
I do have a YouTube as
Okay.
well, but I've stopped using it because apparently I keep getting strikes for calling Israelis "see you next Tuesdays" a lot in my videos. So they've got community things against me, but the thing is my account on YouTube is monetized, but I've never been paid anything by them because I've never accepted money from them because I don't do it for money. The only people that give me money is Twitter, and I get like $230, $70. I think the maximum I've ever had was like $500. That's in like a month or something.
Yeah.
So it's not what I get. I don't get my money from social media. I do what I do on social media because I want people to know the truth, and that's all I'm interested in, is delivering the truth to people.
Yeah. Well, massive respect to you, Hoz, and thank you so much for coming on anyway.
My pleasure, my brother. Anytime.
No worries. We'll do it another time as well, maybe. But yeah, I hope you
Inshallah.
enjoy the rest of your day, man. I hope your health gets sorted as well.
Thank you. I just want to say that I'm sorry I'm lying down, but I've got a broken back. I'm in my bed because that's the only way I can do my interview. So don't be offended and think I'm being rude, yeah?
Nah, of course. Thank you, man. Have a great day. Speak to you
And
later.
you, brother. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, that was Hoz, man. Big shout out to Hoz. Big W for Hoz. A great guest. He's a great guy. He knows a lot about what's going on in the world as well. And I'm glad that we could have him on to hear his insights about everything. My chair's gone really low. What the hell? Yeah, what did you guys think of the interview? Did you like it? Did you like the interview? We're going to go over some news as well, guys, so stay around. We're going to go over some news and stuff. Just going to have a quick drink, and have a quick refresh. You guys all liked him, yeah? W Uncle Hoz, yeah. I'm sure most of you people probably know who he is anyway. Yeah. Very big W. I've got to give him another button on that. W Hoz. I suppose I'll start loading up the news. Usually we do like, when we done the Ryan Dawson interview last week, we like done the news first and then went on to the interview, but Hoz was like waiting already, so I didn't want to mess him about, so I thought it'd be easier to just do the interview first. But I'll have to load up all my bookmarks and things like that now. I didn't really have it prepared. You say I'm too shy, sire? I'm not shy. I know Hoz personally as well, but I just like when I have a guest on, I like to let them talk. I'm the one that usually talks, you know. And also that my guests are usually like a lot more educated than me. Like I always tell everyone this. I'm not no expert in this. Like I'm not an expert. I'm just an average person that just started learning about what's going on a few years ago, and I'm like still learning myself as I'm, you know, reporting on things. So when someone like Hoz comes on, I'm like learning myself as well. You know, like I'm also learning things. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm kind of quiet. Especially like Brian and Hoz, like they're very educated. They've been doing this stuff many more years than I have. Thanks Wazzle Dazzle. And we have got loads of stuff to go over as well. Obviously while Hoz was on the interview, there's also been like more updates, so what we'll do is probably go over the stuff I've got saved, and then we'll come back to like the live stuff and find out what we've missed. So yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I'm just gonna wait for my bookmarks to load for a second. Someone was saying earlier as well in the comments, I didn't want to like interrupt Hoz while he's speaking, but someone was saying earlier in the comments that they liked my intro, and they was wondering where the intro came from, like, you know, where the woman's saying I hate him and that. And those were actually like Israelis that all held a space about me, and there was actually IDF commanders in there and IDF soldiers, and they was all saying they was going to kill me and stuff. So that's like the story of why that's the story of where that intro came from, basically. Oh, what's that? Oh, Hoz is a member. Look at that. W Hoz. Thank you, Hoz, brother. I don't know if you're watching the stream still. Legend, bro. Legends. But yeah, that's where the intro came from. The intro was just loads of Israeli soldiers and people like that just saying they wanted to kill me. So instead of crying about it, I thought I'd put them into an intro and mock them even more. Yeah. So let's get up all the news that we've got to go over and see some live updates maybe as well. Anyone recommend any like videos to watch as well? Oh yeah, well, something I did want to watch as well is that Dan Bilzerian. Have you seen he's apparently running for Congress in America, and there's a CNN interview with him, and I haven't actually watched it. I've seen a couple clips from it. Maybe we could watch that. I'm just going to arrange all these bookmarks. Give me 1 second. I'll let you guys see so you're not just staring at me. Just trying to put everything in the right way. I suppose when we go over it all. So yeah guys, we might as well just quickly talk about this. You like the interview, Si, yeah? We'll do more interviews. 100%. I'm just trying to find someone to get on. Like, I'll try to get like 1 interview in per week, so we can all get stuff. Oh, look at that! We've got a super chat from Hoz, man. You didn't have to do that, brother. Have a great day, everyone. Look, we've got to give him another W for man. Thank you, Hoz. Thank you. You're a legend, brother. We'll hope to have you on again one day. Everyone in the chat loved you. Everyone in the chat loves you loads. So yeah, it'd be great to have you back on another day, brother. I wish you all the best as well. Hope you get better soon. Yeah, as I say, yeah, so we'll quickly we'll briefly go over this. Hamas informed Trump's border peace that it will refuse to disarm unless there is a full agreement, which includes Israel's complete pullout from Gaza and lifting the blockade. An internal document obtained by Khan says Hamas considers its weapons as legitimate self-defense as long as the occupation remains. So basically what they're saying, guys, is oh, I just clicked on the intro by accident. Basically what they're saying, guys, is that they're not disarming until there's no more Israeli occupation. So bottom line is they're not disarming. Unlucky for you, Israel. Unlucky, guys. Yeah, I want to watch that. I want to watch that Dan Bilzerian thing quickly because everyone keeps talking about it. Sarmak says, "You brilliant guest and brilliant interview. I've never heard of him before." Yeah, he's great. He's like he said, he's not really on YouTube or anything like that. If you're not on Twitter, that's probably why you don't know, because he's like, that's where I first saw his stuff, on Twitter. So if you're not there, maybe that's why. You've not been active on Twitter either, Sire. It's a bit of a cesspit right now. Oh look, Dan Bilzerian done an interview with Sneaker as well. Okay. Alright, so maybe what we can do, we'll watch that damn Bilzerian CNN thing, and then we'll go over some news, and then maybe at the end of the stream we can watch some of that interview with Sneaker or something. It's up to you guys. So yeah, have you guys seen this?
Producers, this plugin helps.
Have you guys seen the damn Bilzerian interview? Apparently he's running for Congress because he's like sick of all of these Zionists in Congress, so bit interesting watch. Let's play this.
Talk to us about why you've pivoted here and decided to run.
I just don't feel like anybody in government is doing what is in the best interest of Americans, and I feel like they are doing what is in the best interest of themselves, and you see that with Trump. I feel like every decision that Trump makes is based on what is best for him and his ego.
So you were somewhat vocally a supporter of President Trump in the past. When did that change?
Well, I think when he lied about every single thing that he said that he was running for, right? Like, this is not America.
Wait, I just want to say thank you to Janelle 7284. She sent, I'm guessing, whoever, sorry, I don't know if you're a boy or a girl, but thank you, whoever, for sending me $5 of a sticker. Thank you so much. Give a W. A W for Janelle in the chat as well. Thank you so much for your support. Yeah, for those of you that don't know as well, I'm doing this like full time soon. I did speak about it yesterday, but some of you might not have been here for that stream. And basically my job circumstances have changed, and it's just easier for me to, I'm just going to try and give this my best shot. I'm going to try and do this full time after the end of the month, so I'll be able to do longer streams and yeah, put more time into it, have more organised streams as well, rather than doing like random times working around my job. I'll be able to set them up like on a schedule. So yeah, all of these super chats now, it's really helpful, guys. It really helps me out a lot, because soon I won't have my job no more by the end of the month. So yeah, thank you so much. Let's carry on playing the video anyway.
America first. It's been Israel first. And he just has broken promise after promise. And that to me is really the crux of the issue. Like in my friend group, if you lie one time, your word is gone. It's shot. Nobody trusts you. And I've watched Trump lie to us over and over and over again. I mean, what did this idiot tell us? He said that we had already won the war. He told us that we had complete air superiority, that we could just fly anywhere we wanted. What did they do? They shot 3 of our planes down. Everything about this war has been a complete failure. And then he completely capitulated and accepted every single one of Iran's terms. I mean, he is going to allow them to have full control of the Strait of Hormuz. Not that he had a choice, but he's lifting all sanctions. We're paying them reparations. He's lifting all sanctions from anybody that was supporting Iran. We have to remove all troops from the area. And I mean, if you look at the 10 points, it's everything that Iran wanted.
Well, I mean, all that is being negotiated still, but
they're allowed to enrich uranium, and they don't have to allow nuclear inspections now. So what did we accomplish?
I will say, I think it's hard to argue with a single point you just made. I think a lot of people, frankly, myself included, agree with you on that. There's another element to this, which is Israel, and you mentioned Israel. And you are, you seem to view Israel as the enemy here. Could you explain?
Well, I mean, they're a terrorist nation. They were founded by terrorists, and they've been committing terrorism since their inception. I mean, and prior to their inception, they bombed the King David Hotel. They poisoned Palestinian wells. I mean, they've been a disaster. I mean, the Haganah, the Irgun, and the Stern Gang is what comprised the IDF, and those were all designated terrorist organizations. So, and the leaders of those organizations went on to become prime ministers of Israel. So this is a country that was founded on terrorism. They've been committing terrorist attacks. They've been committing a genocide, and we're paying for it to our own detriment, and they're dog walking us into wars. So yeah, I don't know how you could ever view them as an ally. They've attacked U.S. warships. I mean, I don't know if you're aware of the different false flag attacks that they've committed, but it's been numerous. The Lavon affair, I mean, they bombed U.S. cinemas and British cinemas and libraries, trying to blame that on the Muslim Brotherhood.
I
So,
mean, Dan, I'm sorry, I just want to, because I know that some of the things you're talking about, and those are theories that are out there that are not.
They're not conspiracy theories. Like, what the fuck? Like, I hate when they always just try and use this conspiracy theory thing. Oh, it's just a conspiracy theory. No, it's not. It's not a conspiracy theory. This is all true stuff.
Some of the things you're talking about, and those are theories that are out there that are not
this
proven.
is not
that are not
debated.
proven.
Look, there's I don't want to spend the time kind of
Right.
getting into that, because believe me, there's a big response to what you just said. The bigger thing
Yeah,
to
I'll
me is that you don't seem to have a problem with Israel, just Israel. You seem to have a problem with Jews.
Oh, this is what they always do as well, the anti-Semitism. This is what they always bring up. Oh, you know, it's not just about Israel, is it, though? It's about Jews. Like, no, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. Like, they always love to pull out this anti-Semitism card.
With Israel, just Israel, you seem to have a problem with Jews.
Well, I mean, that's a ethnocentric state, and you know, it's being run by Jews.
Well,
and
let's
I think
okay,
that-
but hold on.
I wanna
Let's talk about the Jews in the United States, not in Israel.
Okay.
You
So you're
called
running against Randy Fine,
You
the
called your
congressman.
opponent this fat Jew. So he's not from Israel, but you called a guy in Florida this fat Jew. How is that not anti-Semitic?
Well, he's a Jewish supremacist, and he puts Israel before America, and I think that he should be tried for treason.
This fat Jew is anti-Semitic.
Yes.
Dan.
I mean, that's what you say, but how about
that's
every
what I-
single time
that's
that
what
he
I-
blasts
that's what I-
Muslims?
Exactly, Lucas. Like, it's not really anti-Semitic, is it? That's like saying, like, oh, like, a fat Christian. Like, is that anti-Christian? Or are you just describing that he's a Christian and he's fat? Like, I don't really see that as being anti-Semitic, personally.
I mean, that's what you say, but how
No,
about
that's
every
what I.
single time
That's
that
what
he
I.
blasts
That's what
Muslims?
I know. I don't say
Well,
it. I know
he
it.
literally talks about how Muslims are lower than dogs. So is that Islamophobic?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is, and that wouldn't be. That's not appropriate for him to say either. If he had said that,
But he
and
does all the time, and
So-
he tweets that, and
so
he's a
what-
senator.
Are you anti-Semitic?
No, I'm not anti-Semitic. I think that, you know, that's kind of a made-up term. I think the Palestinians
Is it
are
a
the real
made-up
Semites.
term?
Yes, because if
Made
you
up
look
by-
at what
was
if you look
was-
at what a Semite
Was
is,
Hitler
the
anti-Semitic?
What's that?
Was Hitler
Oh,
anti-Semitic?
here we go.
Like I said, it's the term is focused solely on Jews, but actual Semites are the Arabs, and you know, Palestinians are Semites as well.
Facts.
And they actually have more, you know, DNA lineage to that region than any of the Eastern European Ashkenazi Jews that have taken it from them. So, you know, I kind of have issue with that term and how it's been hijacked to only talk about
anti-Jewish.
Jews.
So if you want to call it anti-Jewish, then you can call it anti-Jewish.
Well, I'm not going to call this anti-Jewish. When you say that this fat Jew, you know, you could take another race and you could use another epithet, but you're anti-Semitic then.
I'm not. I
You
have
are.
Jewish. I have Jewish friends.
Oh, some
I
of your
don't
best friends
I
are
don't paint
Jewish?
all Jews with one brush, but he paints all Muslims with one brush, and it's accepted. And for some reason in this country, it is okay to just blast Muslims, bash them. You look at what Bill Maher said about Muslims. I mean, it's this double standard, and I don't like the double standard. And I look at him as a Jewish supremacist. He believes that, you know, Jews are better than other people, and he puts Israel before America. And so I have a huge problem with that.
So if you've got a black friend that you don't like, do you use the N-word on him?
No, I
Well,
don't.
then what's the difference when you use the word fat Jew for a Jew you don't like?
Imagine
shut up.
being able to build anything.
Shut up. Sorry, guys, I don't pay for YouTube Premium, unfortunately.
Well, is Jew the same as because that is not that's not, one is a slur, right, and one is describing a religion, so you can't compare the two.
Really?
You know,
there's a way
how can you compare those two?
There's a way you say it, Dan, that the intent is the same.
It's not the
splitting
same at
hairs
all.
here. So I want
One
to ask
is
a question.
one is a slur, one is a racial slur that I don't use, and the
Well, you
other one
just
is
used
describing
it.
an
You
ethnicity.
just used it.
Well, are we adults? Can we talk about a word?
Sure.
Was a word so
Okay.
offensive that that it just, you know, you can't say it? We have to say the
Yeah, the
N-word,
answer
but-
to that is yes.
So
Okay.
I want to ask a question.
People are too sensitive.
Dan, I know you I mean, people are sensitive, but if you're really gonna run for Congress, you're gonna face these questions on the campaign trail. You're gonna face it in debates. And you have lived your life in a way that clearly those things are going to be brought up. As we're talking
That's
to
fine.
you, I realize you have lots of money and that, you know, spending it on this campaign, it may be fine for you. I'm just curious that you're running in Florida as a Republican and you are anti-Trump and clearly, I'll say anti-Jewish, because you don't like the term anti-Semite, but you're clearly anti-Jewish, anti-Trump, running in Florida as a Republican. It doesn't add up like you really have a chance to win this. Why would you throw yourself into this race with all that against you?
So I don't like racism. I don't like supremacist mindset, and I think that's exactly what you have with Randy Fine. And I am against everything that he stands for. I don't like putting a foreign nation before America. Look, I don't want to be a congressman. I don't want to be in government. I want to be free diving on a beach.
You're running for Congress.
Because nobody's doing it. Our country's being run by pedophiles. Like, nobody's
Facts.
operating the best interests of America. And so if nobody's going to step up and do it, and everybody's frustrated, everybody's like talking about it, but nobody's actually doing anything. So
Oh, we got a fucking Zionist in the chat. Silly kid saviour who loves to glorify death for Jews. Who the fuck's glorifying any death for Jews, mate? Moderators, deal with this guy.
I feel like I'm in a unique position because I have a following and I am not affected by money, and I don't care about being in office. And I think the people that are going to be the best government leaders are the people that don't want to do it but feel obligated to do it, or do it because they want what's best for America. And that's what we need. Everybody else gets into office and says, oh, what can I get from this? How can I get rich? How can I help myself? How can I help my donors? And it should be it should be a selfless act. You know, this should be like, I mean, more selfless than joining the military. I mean, because I was in the military for 4 years, and I didn't join the military as a selfless act. I did it because it was my best option. I'm doing this because I want to help the country.
Okay. All right. Well, I've never heard someone announce they're running for Congress and say, I don't want to be a congressman. But you know what? You're like you said, it's going to be a different approach. We will see how it turns out.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Dan.
Yep. Good talking to you.
He handled that interview well, didn't he? And like, I hate the way they keep saying, like, you're saying that you don't want to be in Congress. He told you the reason why, because no one else is doing it. He feels like everyone's talking about what Israel's doing. Everyone knows what's going on, but no one's doing anything about it. And he's obviously got the funds there to promote his campaign. He's got the support. He's got the following. So that's good. Bear with me 2 seconds, guys. I just got a delivery at the door. 1 second. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, thank you RTOBA for following me on Kick as well. Everyone, make sure you drop me a follow on Kick as well if you're not already. It helps me a lot. It helps me a lot. Oh, the fuzz. Hello, mic check. Is that better, Lucas? I know you're on Kick, so you'll hear me quicker than everyone else. Hopefully the fuzz is gone. I'm not sure what it is. It's like every time I get up and like move the wire, it will come back. And I've tried plugging the wire into different parts of my computer, but it doesn't go away for some reason. So I think I need a new microphone. Yeah. All good now though, yes, sweet. So we've got some news to go over anyway. Big W for Dan Bilzerian, of course. Hopefully, if I was American, I'd vote for him. But, yeah. 1 second. Just go. I'm going out. Also, yeah, the reason I'm doing like a longer stream as well today is because I'm actually out recording tomorrow. so there won't be any stream tomorrow. Maybe we can stream some of it tomorrow. We're going out to do a video. Back on the streets again. We're back on the streets again. We haven't been on the streets in a while, but yeah, we're gonna go out and get a sick video, hopefully. The video won't be posted though for a couple of weeks, because I'm going away at the end of the month, and in that time I want to have videos to put out. So I'll probably record it tomorrow, edit it all up over the next couple of weeks, edit loads of shorts up, and then I'll drop it at some point towards the end of the month. But it's going to be a good video. I'll tell you guys that are watching now, we're going to the Jewish neighbourhood again. We're going to a certain Jewish neighbourhood in the UK. Gonna go talk to the Jews, ask them some questions. I mean, speaking of that, really, what questions would you like to see me ask them, guys? You know, we're gonna try and talk to them. You know, they don't like talking. But yeah, we're probably gonna ask them about how they think, what they thought about the Iran war, what their thoughts on Israel are as a whole. Do they think Zionism equals Judaism? That sort of stuff. So yeah, we'll hopefully get a good video. Wazzle Dazzle says ask them if they're UK first or Israel first. Yeah, I'll ask them that. I don't mind asking them that. Yeah, hopefully we'll get a good video anyway. So let's go over some news, I guess. Where should we start? Wazzle says, do they condemn the terrorist attacks on Iran? Yeah, I can ask them that. Zionism is an ideology that attached itself to a group of people that were vulnerable. Yeah. Please don't tell where you're going away. What do you mean? When I go away at the end of the month, do you mean? Or do you mean where I'm going tomorrow? Ask them how slaves they get when the Messiah comes. How many slaves they get. Well, I can't ask them questions that will get me banned. So yeah, where do I start? Cool. I suppose we'll start off with the stuff. We'll start off with the stuff in Lebanon. So as you guys know, the ceasefire talks are in the process right now. There's talks going on in Islamabad as we speak. Nice one, Artio, but yeah, you're reacting to me on stream, are you? I'll have to take a look at that afterwards. Appreciate that, brother. But yeah, so the talks are going on in Islamabad regarding Iran and the 10-point proposal that they put forward. And one of the main things that they put forward in this 10-point proposal was peace in Lebanon. They said no more bombing Lebanon. That's, you know, part of the deal. And Israel, the first day after the ceasefire was announced, killed over 250 civilians in Lebanon. They injured over, I think it was like 11 or 1,200 civilians in one day as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Because just 24 hours ago, we saw a retaliation from Hezbollah. And Hezbollah hit a area in Safed, causing damage in several locations, and Israeli media reported 17 injured illegal settlers. Damn.
She was
So
there.
we got a little clip here.
She was there בצל 8. אימא לאיזה בולגריה. אימא ל... אימא ואבא ביער. She was there.
So yeah, we've got a little video there, and we've got some images of the strikes in Safed. Sorry, I'm just gonna drop you a follow, Artia. But appreciate that, man. I'll drop you a follow and a comment on your stream. Appreciate you. Good luck to your page as well. It's hard going on Kick, ain't it? Don't know how I follow you. Oh, there we go. Boom. Drop your follow. No worries, bro. No worries. Free Palestine, yeah. Come on. Check your sign. Everyone wants to see this. Oh, my camera's frozen out on my stream. 1 second. You guys can't see me right now.
Yeah, what happened? I've got you on my stream. You just froze. I'm loving what you're talking about, by the way, man. Keep it up.
I appreciate that, G. Everyone should drop you a follow, man. We all got to fight together. We've got to fight this together. There we go, camera should be back on. You see me again? Sweet.
Literally, it's an ideology, Zionism. It's just taken over on a state of vulnerable people.
Where are you from? Australia, are you? Yeah, so some impacts in Safford.
Yeah, you can tell by the accent. You're probably the first person on stream I've collabed with that knows that.
Haha, nice, man. We'll do a collab stream one time, yeah? But I'm just going to have to put you on mute for a second so I can carry on the news. But I appreciate that, brother. Either way, everyone drop him a follow, man. Nice one, yo, bro. Thank you. So yeah, also we want to give a W to Janelle in the chat. $5 from Janelle on YouTube. Again, another sticker. Thank you, Janelle. Everyone drop a W in the chat for Janelle. But anyway, back to the Lebanon stuff. So, Iranians came out and made a video standing with Lebanon and its people. And they said, we will not abandon each other and we will stand together until death. So, yeah, shout out to these brave Iranians and Lebanese people that are fighting against the evil ideology of the Zionists.
نحن معكم اللهم انصر حزب الله النصر حزب الله
إيران ولبنان لا يفترقان
نحن معكم قربت الساعة الله في
And that's what we need.
الموت لإسرائيل
لا نترك حزب الله
اللهم احفظ لبنان.
Yeah, so the good people are with, well, they're against the Zionists. Yeah, thank you, Janelle. What else have we got? So, Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has been on a roll lately. And he's, of course, also been on the right side of history. This is in Spanish, this clip, so I won't be able to play it for you because unfortunately I don't speak Spanish and I can't translate it. But he said, a little extract from it, he said, let us not allow a new Gaza in Lebanon. In the face of violations of international law, Europe must act consistently if it wants the rest of the world to support us. Exactly that, man. It doesn't take an expert, you don't have to be a Muslim, you don't have to be any of this stuff to see what is right from what is wrong. So yeah, shout out to Pedro Sanchez as always. Also, we've seen posters spotted in Beirut after negotiations between Lebanon and Israel. So yeah, they've got the Israel flag with a footprint on it. It says printed like this, negotiated like this. But yeah, the comments are saying the translation is not accurate. It says, the first one says, this is how we normalize a relationship with Israel, which is the footprint on it. And the second one is, this is how we negotiate. So that's very based, very based. Also, look at this terrorism as well. So, an Israeli airstrike targeted a house in Lebanon belonging to a Lebanese student who was continuing her education through distant learning. I mean, these people are sick. This is a very sad video. Obviously, you can't see the video of the strike, but the sound is it's enough. You know, it's heartbreaking. Let's play the clip.
Can you hear me, ladies?
Yes, I can.
Taras.
Mama!
دكتور في نفسي عندي لك
دكتور ضربوا عنا انا صار مضطره بدي اظهر.
اوكي.
Yeah, so very heartbreaking. Very heartbreaking. Yeah, this was a video. An Israeli strike targeted a house in Lebanon belonging to a Lebanese student who was continuing her education through distant learning. So yeah, basically it's like a call, and we heard the bombing happen while she's just there trying to learn. It's very sad. It's the demonic Israelis. Netanyahu, so this is yesterday. Netanyahu accepted a ceasefire in Lebanon. This is according to Israeli newspaper Yedioth Ahronoth. There will reportedly be an immediate ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon. The announcement is expected to start at some point today. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Also, Turkish President Erdogan came out This is also in Turkish. Like I said in the Spanish clip, I can't translate, but there's an extract from it here. It says, on the day the ceasefire was declared, Israel brutally killed 254 Lebanese people. The genocidal network, blinded by blood and hatred, continues to kill innocent children, women and civilians, disregarding all human values and recognising no rulers or principles. And yeah, what more can you say? You hit it bang on. These evil sick terrorists are claiming that they want a ceasefire, and they're still killing people in Lebanon. So I pray that that comes to an end very soon. Hopefully today that all comes to an end after these peace talks. We saw CCTV images capture the moment a Hezbollah rocket struck Safed yesterday. This was yesterday. It says today, but I was posted yesterday. As you can see, it's Friday at 4:05 Zionist terrorist time. Let's play the clip. No sound on the clip, don't worry guys, it's not your audio. But yeah, big impact there. Hezbollah got the firepower, you know. If Israel want the war, they already embarrassed them last time they had a war. Do you remember? Last year. At the same time the Gaza genocide started, around that time. So yeah, big impact there. And the Russian Foreign Ministry came out and called for an immediate halt to the bombing of Lebanon. And Hezbollah military media published a video called "Come Out of Your Holes, You Cowards." So they're definitely ready for it. They're ready to go with Israel if Israel wants that smoke. Come out of your hole, you cowards. That's what they said. And you know, it's funny as well, in the video you noticed that they didn't target any civilian buildings like Israel does. Also, a few hours ago, Hezbollah announced that they struck an Israeli tank in Odessa with a guided missile and a kamikaze drone, scoring a direct hit. Lucky for the Israelis. Yeah, like I said already, Hezbollah can definitely give them that hell if they want. And this is the video I saw this morning that I was saying to Hoz about. Israeli aggression targeted the town of Zafta in southern Lebanon 6 hours ago. So I suppose in that statement from Yedioth Amroth, the Israeli news website, they did say that the ceasefire announcement would be going into effect at some point today. So I'm not sure if this counts right now as a breach of a ceasefire. Maybe this is why the bombing was still happening. So we pray that that there is a ceasefire now. Let's pray. I'm going to go look at some live news very shortly anyway, but let's play the clip of what they done this morning.
Haram.
Madness. Israeli terrorism doesn't stop. It doesn't fucking stop. Yeah, I hope that these peace talks bring peace, you know, because they never usually do. So my hopes aren't too high, but I suppose Iran have got more of leverage right now this time around. They've got the Strait of Hormuz, all of that stuff. So America and all these other countries around the world were clearly taking some big losses. Otherwise there wouldn't have been these peace talks happening. So hopefully it stops. But yeah, onto a couple bits regarding Israel and the Strait of Hormuz. So we'll start off with a couple clips from Israel. Thanks for following on YouTube. So yeah, Netanyahu is obviously crying about Spain because, well, the reason he's been doing that is because Pedro Sanchez especially has been coming out supporting Iran and standing with peace. Just like normal, you know, just normal humans would do. They would stand against genocide. But Netanyahu has come out and said Spain has defamed IDF soldiers, the soldiers of the most moral army in the world. I'll play this video for you, but I'll have to read out the subtitles. We don't speak terrorist language. Israel will not remain silent in the face of those who attack us. Spain has defamed our heroes, the soldiers of the IDF, the soldiers of the most moral army in the world. Therefore, I have instructed today to remove Spain's representatives from the coordination centre in Kiryat Gat after Spain has chosen repeatedly to stand against Israel. Those who attack the state of Israel instead of terrorist regimes will not be our partners regarding the future of the region. I am not willing to tolerate the hypocrisy and hostility. I do not intend to allow any country to wage a diplomatic war against us without paying an immediate price. I mean, who the fuck would want to work with terrorists anyway? I don't think Spain really give a fuck, to be honest with you, Mr. Netanyahu. Yeah, mad. Also, during a live broadcast in Spain, Netanyahu was greeted with the middle finger following defamatory remarks against the country. Let's show you this video.
No sé si me estoy enterando. O sea, este. Vale, pero yo no puedo hacer. O sea, estamos hablando de este gesto.
Sí, este.
Sí, ¿no?
Y se puede hacer con la izquierda también.
Con esta no me sale, pero era este, ¿no?
Mira cómo
¡Basta!
Con las dos, con una con la otra, da igual. Vale.
Con estos miembros es imposible hacer un programa. Os recuerdo que estamos trabajando. No tiene sentido que unos profesionales estén todo el día con este gesto. No se puede. Somos estrellas de la televisión, no urólogos.
Bueno, esto no hacer esto, no subirlo, no hacerlo.
Comienza el intermedio.
Any Spanish speakers know what they're saying? W Spain either way. W Spain. W Spain. And the Ugandan Chief of Staff said, I'm ready to deploy 100,000 Ugandan soldiers in Israel under my command to protect the Holy Land, the land of Jesus Christ. Oh God. What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? It's definitely not the land of Jesus Christ. They've fucking ruined that a long time ago. Mad. Mad. Uganda, I suppose, is on the wrong side of history, that means. And regarding the Strait of Hormuz, we saw a clip from Fox News. And Fox News said Iran is demanding fees from vessels it's allowing to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz is effectively under IRGC control. They decide who gets to go through, but more importantly, who doesn't. Good. Good.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. With high-stakes talks scheduled this weekend in Islamabad, Pakistan, an Israeli intelligence official tells Fox News Iran is indeed demanding fees for the few vessels it's allowing to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. This official adds the strait is effectively under full IRGC control. They decide who gets to go through, but more importantly, who doesn't. I am told that there is intelligence being shared in the intel community about how Iran is trying to tighten its grip on this strait ahead of the negotiations this weekend. Overnight, President Trump taking to Truth Social to talk about the issue, saying, quote, Iran is doing a very poor job, dishonorable, some would say, of allowing oil to go through the Strait of Hormuz. That is not the agreement we have. With just 8 vessels. Yeah, hey guys, good morning.
Yeah, good. Good. And also, look, our UK British Prime Minister Keir Starmer indirectly admitted that they are working on a coalition that will try to open the Strait of Hormuz by military means. So all of this stuff is pointing in that direction that the ceasefire may be over very soon. Let's play the clip of... Well, let me play the post from Megatron up first, actually, because he says he is actively coordinating with Donald Trump to build a massive 30-nation military coalition to force open the Strait of Hormuz. They are using the ceasefire as a cover to prepare for a massive escalation against Iran. Wow, let's play the clip.
Well, I had a discussion with President Trump last night and set out to him the views of the region here. These Gulf states are the neighbours of Iran, and therefore, if the ceasefire is to hold, and we hope it will, it has to involve them. They have very strong views on the Strait of Hormuz. And we spent most of the time on the call talking about the practical plan that's going to be needed to get navigation through the strait, and the role that the UK is playing. For a couple of weeks now, we've been pulling together a coalition of countries, now over 30 countries, working on a political and diplomatic plan but also looking at military capabilities and actually the logistics of actually moving vessels through these straits. So that was the focus of the discussion last night, reflection on what I've been discussing here, but also that focus on a practical plan in relation to navigation through the strait.
Good luck, man. It'll probably become a graveyard, like we said before. Good luck, Mr. Starmer. Janelle says, where's the dog? The dog's sleeping right now. I know you guys don't see the dog anymore because of the green screen, unfortunately, but sorry. And also, CNN, citing vessel tracking data, reports that several ships started heading towards the Strait of Hormuz this morning as the US and Iran talks begin. So, looks like they're all flooding the Strait of Hormuz, hoping that they can get through now. I suppose we have to wait and see. Yeah. Remember, this is the same human who was head of CPS UK and brushed Savil's case under the rug. Yeah, that's what we was literally just speaking about as well with Hoz. Starmer is very corrupt himself, so you know, what more is there to say on that? Birds of a feather flock together. So we'll go over some stuff from Iran now. Go over some stuff from Iran, then we'll go to America. So, Iran's Galibaf made a tweet yesterday, and he said 2 of the measures mutually agreed upon between the parties have yet to be implemented. A ceasefire in Lebanon and the release of Iran's blocked assets prior to the commandment of negotiations. These 2 matters must be fulfilled before negotiations begin. So that was yesterday. He tweeted that. Then we started seeing the Iranian delegation arriving in Islamabad, Pakistan. So we've got an image here. First of all, we've got Abbas Araghchi, other Iranian diplomats, and so I'm just reading the comments. And also we've got a video as well. Got no sound on the video, but you can see them all arriving off of their jets. I wonder how it will go. There's probably been more updates as well since it's been on stream. I did see a couple of it, so I was looking on my phone earlier. We'll cover that all in a minute. Yeah, someone said in the comments, I wish Ali Larijani was also part of the delegation. Yeah, I know, it's sad. It's sad. And yeah, so Galibaf posted this on his Twitter. My companions on his flight. So the victims of the Epstein regime. So sad. So sad. Manab school bombing. And also Parliament Speaker Galibaf said, we have good intentions, but we do not trust the American side. We are ready for an agreement if the Americans are ready for a real deal and to grant our people their rights. So yeah, hopefully they stick to this 10-point plan, you know. Hopefully if that is the case and they do stick to it, then, you know, we could see peace for once, but we'll have to wait and see. As Iran enters US talks in a triumphant mood after the 40-day war, now in control of the Strait of Hormuz and global energy markets. The Wall Street Journal reports that Tehran holds strong cards heading into negotiations with the United States. Of course they do. Of course they do. Iran's foreign ministry said as well, we would have responded to the strike on Lebanon if it were not for Pakistan's intervention. So yeah, if there was no peace talks happening, then more than likely the war would be still kicking off right now. And also the commander of the Pakistan army, Asim Munir, met with the American delegation in a formal suit and with the Iranian delegation in a military uniform. So it looks like these peace talks are underway. And we've got some stuff from the Americans too. The United States agreed to release frozen Iranian assets, while Tehran sees this move as a test of goodwill and a new sign towards reaching a lasting agreement, according to Reuters. So hopefully, you never know. We saw Vice President J.D. Vance landing in Pakistan earlier today, 7 8 hours ago, where senior Pakistani officials and Field Marshal General Asim Munir received him. Let's play the little clip we've got here. happened here? No, why it's lagging out like this. I think it's just a clip. It's lagging out. You get the point anyway. He's arrived. Vance is there. The terrorist Vance. He's in Pakistan. But yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys remember Trump crashing out yesterday. We went over it on stream, and he called out like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, a few others, and Tucker Carlson has responded to Trump. We'll read out the full statement. He said, Trump is in a tough spot. Establishment media never reports this, but the Israeli government has a storied history of blackmailing US presidents, a storied history. Perhaps the most jarring example occurred in the 90s, when Israel used recordings of a Bill Clinton-Monica Lewinsky phone sex session as leverage to pressure Clinton into releasing convicted spy Jonathan Pollard from prison. We're not joking, that really happened. Mad, I didn't even know that. The phone sex story is worth remembering as President Trump attempts to end the Iran war. Like many other things Israel has done, it shows that America's special ally is willing to play very dirty to achieve its goals. Dark money campaign contributions, extortion, physical threats, and even assassination. In their anti-Christian worldview, the ends always justify the means. They have no issue destroying lives. Israel's current top priority is making sure Operation Epic Fury does not stop. They know the US fighting their war for them is the best chance at expanding their borders and becoming a global superpower, and a peace deal would foil their plot. Based on the country's past, its leaders are doubtlessly willing to push as hard as necessary to ensure the bloodshed continues. That could mean Clinton-style blackmail against Trump, or something far more morbid. We do not know for sure whether that is happening, but the mere possibility is haunting enough to keep the president up at night. He is under a level of pressure that most people cannot fathom, with rabid Israel firsters viciously harassing him any time he dares to stray even slightly from their country's agenda, from their favourite country's agenda. Their shameless pursuit is steadfast enough to make even a man like Donald Trump go mad. They are as persistent as any group in history, no matter how well the White House has treated them in the past. They are never grateful, they always want more, and they refuse to give the president even an inch of breathing room. It is an unrelenting full-court press. We decided to write about this after Trump published a Truth Social post attacking our company, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones, each of whom supported him for years. Rather than engaging in petty name-calling, we want to give the president some grace. He is facing a level of pressure that is dark enough to make him abandon his campaign promises and morph into the precise kind of politician he once vowed to destroy. He would not have let that happen unless his personal stakes were really high. We hope he overcomes. Damn, they think Trump is he's getting bullied by these Israelis. He's getting bullied by them. Trump was saying, in his election speeches that all these other politicians are blackmailed and all this, and he would never let that happen to him. So I don't know what changed really. And Tucker also said on Trump, I've always liked Trump and still feel sorry for him, as I do for all slaves. Damn! He's hemmed in by other forces. He can't make his own decisions. It's awful to watch. Oh man. And also Alex Jones said that Trump should be kissing his ass. Remember when Trump said that about Saudi? Let's play the clip.
I'm just going to scorch earth Trump to get him back on track. Only way to do it is to go after him viciously. You've already shed all over me. And if you try to rub it in, I just, at that point, I don't care anymore. So if you think I've been coming after you, if you think that I'm trying to get clicks by attacking you so the Democrats that don't buy anything from me and don't like me want to put me in jail, if you think I've been on your ass, say one more thing. One more thing out of your mouth. And Laura Loomer, send him this, okay? One more thing. When I've gone through hell back in your ass because you were the lesser of two evils, then I'm going to show you how to cow eat the cabbage. Do one more thing. You should be kissing my ass. But instead, you shit all over me and rub it in. I'm not looking for a fight, but if you want one, you came to the right place.
Oh damn, he's pissed off Alex Jones now, man. What is going on? What is going on? And also, one last thing from the Americans, from Tucker Carlson. Tucker said, Hezbollah is designated as a terror group. Has Hezbollah blown up Christian sites? And Steve says, no, they haven't. Hezbollah's protecting Christian churches, but Israel is bombing them. Oh my, let's play the clip.
Hezbollah is, and I'm not defending Hezbollah, it's not my fight, but they're designated, I believe, by the U.S. government as a terror group. They've controlled big parts of Lebanon for many, many years, more than 20 years. And has Hezbollah blown up Christian holy sites? Has Hezbollah targeted ambulances? I mean, maybe they have. You live there. You tell me.
No, they haven't. In fact, the opposite. And again, there's plenty of footage of this that people can check for themselves online. But Hezbollah was, in fact, protecting the Christian churches and protecting these kind of symbolic areas of religious importance to Christians. There's footage of them going into churches and cleaning up and tidying up and standing around, protecting the Christian faith. If you listen to the speeches of Hassan Nasrallah, he said Hezbollah are the main defenders of the Christian faith in Lebanon. So it's no, they're not destroying ambulances, they're not destroying churches, they're not destroying mosques, they're not destroying people's homes, but Israel is, and it's doing it with American and Western supplied weapons.
Yeah, madness. Madness. Americans and the Israelis should be designated as terrorists. And one more video actually. Al Jazeera revealed Iranian strike damage across American interests in Qatar. This is exclusive footage from What Lies Hidden is Greater. It reveals the Al Udeid air base and other military sites, early warning radars in the north, the Ras Laffan industrial city, which is the heart of Qatar's gas sector, and US-linked assets in residential areas, infrastructure. So this is also part of the reason why the peace talks, they're so desperate for peace, because they was getting cooked so fucking badly.
الهجمات الإيرانية ضد قطر شملت استهداف منشآت الطاقة بشكل متكرر.
Yeah, I'll skip through it anyway. So you can just see some damage. It's all slowed down here. More damage there. More here. I'm just going to put it on mute because it's all in slow motion. And more here. Big impacts there. Big fucking explosion there. There's an impact here. And yeah, so basically the moral of the story is they got cooked so fucking hard they had no choice but to run and try and call for peace. Unlucky America and Israel. It looks like you lost that fight quite badly. Looks like you lost that fight very badly. Let's see quickly what else has been happening while we've been streaming. So we've got some updates. We've got a few updates since this all started. So where should we start? So we've got a few bits to go over. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. So we'll start from here. So we've also seen US Vice President J.D. Vance meeting with Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif. This is about 3 hours ago. No sound on it. I don't know what you guys think about this. Got no sound, so J.D. Vance had all that talk, didn't he? So there's some meetups there. Also, we saw the Iranians reportedly obtained a advanced DIRCM system designed to deceive infrared guided missiles taken from an aircraft that was destroyed on the ground in Iran, likely a C-130. Interesting. Funny. Also, sorry. No worries, I am. Thank you for tuning in anyway. Also, today in Pakistan, an AF-2 aircraft of the US Air Force and 2 Iranian Mirage Airlines planes are positioned side by side at the Nur Khan Air Base in Rawalpindi. So, yeah, a little image there. Iranian government spokesperson came out and said, sending our delegation to Pakistan demonstrates our determination to negotiate, but our hands will remain on the trigger. Tehran will not make concessions and will not back down from its rights. W Iran, of course. You can't be, you've always got to be prepared, you know. You've always got to be prepared for what could happen. The Israeli army said 2 soldiers were seriously injured in a clash with Hezbollah fighters in Lebanon. Oh no, unlucky for you, Zionist terrorists. And also, yeah, some terrorism in Palestine. The Israeli police chief entered the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in occupied Jerusalem during Christian celebrations of the Holy Saturday. So yeah, this they don't have any respect for Christians at all. Zionist terrorist demons. And Qatar's foreign ministry said it has sent its 14th identical letter to the UN and the Security Council regarding Iran's attack on Qatari territory. I mean, we already spoke about this when we was talking to Hoz, like, put fucking American terrorist bases in your country. I suppose that's what happens. And the UAE's Michel Kanu said, we don't retaliate against Iran because we don't want the Iranian people to remember us as an attacker. Oh, okay. Sure, that was the reason.
You can see from their
play the clip.
point of view, and I think it's widely accepted, that the UAE hosting United States bases, even though the UAE, like Saudi Arabia said, on no account can they be used for attacks on Iran, the hosting of bases makes GCC countries the targets when the United States is involved in military operations.
Okay. Let's if I accept that premise, and I do, then I should also extend the same thing to Azerbaijan, who has Israeli base over there, and I should extend that to Turkey, who has American bases over there.
There was a hit on Azerbaijan, of course.
And then they said, sorry, it was a mistake. And the same thing with Turkey, oh, sorry, it's a mistake.
It was a NATO country, after all.
And because the reason why the RIGC is attacking our part of the world is because they perceive us to be an easy target, i.e. someone who's not going to retaliate. And we're not going to retaliate, not because we can't. There's a difference between not wanting to retaliate versus an inability to retaliate. But they know that if you're going to attack Turkey, Turkey is a proper army, proper military. They have the ability. They've been skirmishing. They've been at war and with skirmishes both in Syria and in Iraq and in Azerbaijan, etc. They have a proper army. It's a frightening thought for them because then they're close enough, the proximity, that they can walk into it. I mean, they have a military ability to walk into Iran. Azerbaijan is the same thing. Azerbaijan might not be the military superpower that people think, but Azerbaijan. There are approximately 15 million Azeris living in Iran. And if Azerbaijan was to walk in because they felt they were attacked, Iran would have a major problem. This is why we are the ones who are the easy target in their heads in the RIGC. So they keep on hitting us. This argument that it's because of American bases. Well, the American bases are there, but Hello, the American ships, the American, what you call it, frigates, the American, why are they attacking them? Or should I say, why are they making that a major target of this? Why is it just our part of the world where there isn't a retaliatory trajectory from our side towards them? It's because we know tomorrow they're still going to be our neighbors, and we don't have an issue with the Iranian population. I don't want to have a problem with them in the future. So when the current rulers, if they cease to exist or they move on and somebody else takes over, I don't want to have a history where we have been the attacker.
Yeah, of course that's not the reason you done it. Of course. Play the Good Samaritan role. Professor Morandi spoke from Islamabad, Pakistan. He said our negotiation teams will not be deceived by the enemy at any cost. If they do not fulfill their commitments, the Strait of Hormuz is in our hands. Iran have got all of the leverage here. Let me just double check. Yeah, unfortunately I can't translate this, but yeah, W. Morandi as always. And Axios reported, citing a US official, that it is claimed American Navy vessels passed through the Strait of Hormuz today without coordinating with Iran. So, small step forward for the Americans, I guess. And Israeli air defences were shown failing on live TV as Hezbollah missiles reportedly flew overhead during an interview with an Israeli official who shouted in alarm as explosions were heard. So yeah, the Zionists are just fucking get smoked as always. But local entertainment options for the journalists and officials attending the Islamabad talks have been arranged by Pakistan. So yeah, they've got a little show going on. And Donald Trump again has made a tweet on Truth Social. He said the fake news has lost total credibility. Not that they had any to begin with. Because of their massive Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS, they love saying that Iran is winning when in fact everyone knows that they are losing, and losing big. Their navy is gone, their air force is gone, their anti-aircraft apparatus is non-existent, radar is dead, their missile and drone factories have been largely obliterated along with the missile and drones themselves, and most importantly, their long-time leaders are no longer with us. Praise be to Allah. So he's mocking Muslims again. He's mocking Muslims again, and mocking the Iranian people, and mocking innocent civilians. The only thing they have going is the threat that a ship may bunk into one of their sea mines, which, by the way, all 28 of their mine dropper boats are also lying at the bottom of the sea. We're now starting the process of clearing out the Strait of Hormuz as a favour to countries all over the world, including China, Japan, South Korea, France, Germany and many others. Incredibly, they don't have the courage or will to do this work themselves. Very interestingly, however, empty oil-carrying ships from many nations are all heading to the United States of America to load up with oil. Yeah, this fucking, like Candace said the other day, someone needs to put this guy in a fucking home. Someone needs to put him in a home, oh man. And Tasnim news agency reported that a US destroyer withdrew from the Strait of Hormuz after a firm warning from Iran. Damn. Kind of contradicts what Axios said there. Iran's foreign ministry has said our forces monitored the destroyer and informed our delegation, which conveyed the message via Pakistan to the Americans. We warned that the destroyer's approach to Hormuz would expose it to a strike within 30 minutes and that the negotiations would be affected. So that's why they done that. That's why they done that. An Israeli Hezbollah drone. So yeah, this is the most recent thing I've posted. A Hezbollah drone exploded in a building settlement of Shalomi. So yeah, Hezbollah's still going ham there. So yeah, I don't know what these peace talks are gonna bring, guys, but it'll be interesting, that's for sure. It'll be interesting. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see with that. What else can we go over? I suppose we'll quickly watch the Dan Bilzerian interview with Sneeko. It's only 40 minutes long. We'll put it on 1.2 speed as well, just to see what he has to say about all of the reason why he's running for Congress in a bit more detail. We watched that first clip earlier today on TMZ. So I suppose it would be interesting to hear the full ins and outs.
We should pass law.
And just load it up. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this. I haven't watched it myself. It only came out about 12 hours ago. But yeah, let's go over this quickly. I guess I suppose we'll watch this, and then I'll have to go take my dog for a walk and get some food, and then hopefully we'll get some updates of what's going on with these peace talks, because there doesn't seem to be too much updates as of yet. So yeah, let's play this, I guess, and put it on 1.2 speed. Oh, I'll put it on mute.
We should pass laws where if you come into office promising things like new wars, whatever it is, if you go back on that, if you lie, if you are not upholding the things that you promise when you get into office, I think you should be impeached, and I think there should be, you know, some serious repercussions. Like, I think you should get sued for that. Because, I mean, how is that not fraud? How is that not operating in bad faith? If I tell you, hey, you know, if you elect me, I'm going to cut taxes, I get into office and then I raise taxes, like, how is that not fucking fraud? You know,
Yeah,
I just don't understand how a government could not have
So I've got another delivery. I'm going to keep it playing while I go there.
laws and restrictions and things put in place to stop the debt from getting to 40 trillion fucking dollars. Like, how can we not balance a checkbook? Like, the whole thing is just crazy to me. I would completely dismantle the IRS. A total fucking waste of time. Like, if you're gonna print dollars, just print more dollars. Then it literally takes from every single person proportionately. Yeah, I'm not gonna craft my message to appeal to anybody. My message is just gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna be rooted in truth, and you're either gonna like it or you're not. But, you know, I'm doing people a favor here. This is not something that I want to do. I get no personal gain from this whatsoever. I'm trying to fix the country, and that is probably the only type of politician that you should have in office.
But I simply believe that people who've sworn an oath to put the interests of another country above America should not be in Congress. It's not about him. This is a bill that I filed 6 months ago. And by the way, it's something that's been overwhelmingly positive with the people that I serve. Americans generally do not believe people that are citizens of other countries should serve in the American government.
But they should serve in the military. Okay. By the way, I know we're almost out of time, Congressman. I know you said you don't view him as a serious candidate, but if there is a groundswell of support for him,
he should not have even done this interview. This just legitimized Dan Bilzerian's campaign. It shows that he wanted to respond quickly, and now they're head to head. Dan got what he wanted, bro. This is obvious. I'm not even trying to glaze, but like, he really is one up with this back and forth. The fact that Randy Fine did this interview puts them head to head.
Yo.
Hey, what's up, Dan? How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. What's going on?
Dog. Is that dog better than a Muslim?
Oh, dude, no. That's not a dog. That's a fucking vicious cat.
Hopefully
Dude, can you believe that?
the buzzing sound ain't back, is it, guys? Let me know if it comes back.
Guy, bro, he's so ridiculous. They actually pressed him on it pretty good, though. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah. I was just watching it now. I was surprised. I said right before I was proven wrong. I'm like, they're not going to press him, and it seemed like they actually did.
They fucking pressed the shit out of him. The funny thing is, I don't know. I feel like it's because the comments were so heavily skewed in my favor. It was like 95% in my favor. I think that they kind of didn't have. I feel like if they wanted to get me back on, and they probably made a bunch of money from my interview because it got millions of views, they probably felt like, okay, you know, we better press this other fucking guy. And also to satisfy their audience, right? Because their audience clearly was in my favor. So I don't know how much of it was authentic, but I mean, I got to give them credit, man. They pressed the fuck out of him. So
yeah, the title was funny though. So they said Dan drops the N-word on TMZ, and it's like so clearly saying it in context that you're like, can we just be adults? Can we say a word without it being a slur?
Dude, I'm so fucking tired of this N-word. It's so gay, dude. It's like, you don't say the S-word for spick. You don't say, you know, fucking C-word for cracker. It's just like, I'm just so tired of this Jewish nonsense where they have, like, weaponized words, and they've made it to where people, like, have these visceral reactions to just, like, fucking words, dude. You know, it's like, we need to say that word more. We need to get people, like, to stop being so fucking emotionally reactive to words. It's like, okay, it's a word. Control your fucking emotions, retard. When I was growing up, like, if somebody, you know, said something that really bothered you and you showed it, they would fucking eat you alive. Like, you would hear that for the rest of your life, you know? So you had to develop some kind of thick skin and also just be, like, somewhat resilient. The military was the same way. And so I just feel like we've gotten so soft as a society. And this, a big part of it, too, is, like, this Jewish cancel culture where they have, like, you know, really intentionally do a victim category and try to, like, spin this narrative, not because they give a shit about blacks, but just to, like, also create a space for themselves too as victims, to where it's like, if there's any, you know, black crime, it's like all of a sudden it's because of racism, and if anything happens to a Jew, it's because of anti-Semitism. But then if a white person gets killed and the guy's like, fuck that white girl, you know, it's fine, and we just won't even prosecute him, we'll just let him out because, you know, he's not even smart enough to fucking stand trial, they say, right? So it's the double standard, it's the weaponization of victim categories. It's just, dude, it's just such fucking nonsense, bro. And it's so obvious once you see it. And I think people are just getting tired of it. So
I think you've marked a shift where that cancel culture just has no strength anymore. It used to be so easy to label everybody Nazi, anti-Semite, the same. I just did New York Post and they did the same thing. They said, oh, you said Hitler had aura. I'm like, yeah, so what? He did. He dressed in these clothes like, oh, do you like the swastika? I'm like, yeah, it's an aesthetically pleasing logo. You want me to like clutch my pearls over and over again? There's a war going on. We had enough of this. And so I think that's why your movement and, you're running for Congress will be successful. People had enough and are starting to see through these lies of cancel culture.
Hold on, I'm going to turn on my notifications on silent here. Sorry. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I mean, people are tired of it, dude. It's just the same thing over and over and over again. Anti-Semitism, fucking canard, blood libel. It's just shut the fuck up, dude. Holocaust, Hitler, it's just Nazi. It's just like, dude, shut up. Everybody's so tired of it. But I let them go. I didn't want to really kind of roast them because I wanted them to expose themselves, which is exactly what they did. And I also wanted to really deconstruct that anti-Semitism word, not because for them, but for the audience, so the audience can hear it and realize how ridiculous that word is, that they just completely hijacked and weaponized. That word should be talking about the Palestinians. That word should be referring to the Arabs, but somehow within the last 100 years, they took that word and just forced it to only be used about Jews. And that's why the, Harvey or whatever the fuck his name is, when the other host was like, okay, we'll call it Jew hatred. He's like, no, we're going to call it anti-Semitism. Yeah. You see him do that? He's like, no, like we can't lose that word. It's very important to us, So it was just, I don't know. I think it exposed them a bit. I also think the comments were very telling. It's like, because their platform is relatively mainstream, if not more liberal skewed, I would say. And so, yeah, I mean, to your point, it's like, what are we going to get mad about a word when, we've got pedophiles literally fucking children and we're paying for bombs to blow up children's schools, killing and kids to me should be the moral focus, not a fucking word, not racism. It's just shut the fuck up about all that nonsense. If you want to talk about racism, the real racism is the anti-white, which is coming from the Jewish community, which is why, what happens if anytime something happens to a black person and you call it racism, anytime something happens to a Jew, you call it anti-Semitism, but then anytime something happens to a white person, you just ignore it, right? Who is that actually attacking? If you look at what the overall end game is here, it's to attack white people. And, and they've done it. They've done it in their tweets. They did it very outwardly too, talking about kill a white person on the way to work today. They had anti-white training at Coke. The DEI is literally an attack on white people because it only benefits everybody but white people. And and I think people are kind of getting wise to that. And they're understanding white people are not the fucking problem that these Jews tried to make them out to be. The funny thing is all the things that they accuse white people of is what Jews are actually doing and what Jewish supremacy actually is. So the beauty of the Jewish supremacy word is it basically just repackages all the bullshit that they told you about white supremacy and appropriately labels it to the group that it belongs.
Mm-hmm. Randy Fine is definitely doing it about Muslims. He's been saying, dogs are greater than Muslims. He's been saying Muslims are terrorists, and this is just a nonsense. This is from a sitting congressman. It's if he had that rhetoric about Jews or about, any other group about Christians, he would be banned from everything. He would not be allowed in DC. So it's cool to see some sort of pushback. And also, you could also understand that they fall back on the victim mentality all the time. The first thing that they ask him when Randy Fine goes on TMZ, they're like, oh, he called you a fat Jew. And he's like, yeah, it's a slur. Well, it's not a slur. It's descriptive of who you are. He's a Jew and he's fat.
That's literally what we were saying a minute ago, isn't it? It's like saying, oh, you're a fat Christian. That's not being anti-fucking Christian, is it? You're just describing someone.
This is not, you can't make this Nazi rhetoric as well.
Yeah, I mean, but I like them to just keep on going with it because it really exposes it. And it's like, okay, if Jew was the same as, then you wouldn't only bleep out one word, right? Just stop with this nonsense. You know what I mean? Literally, this is your fucking network. This is your TV show. So you are going to only bleep out one word, yet say they're the same. Try and compare the two, and then make this out to be Dan is using racist words when you're the one that brought this fucking shit up. Are we fucking 6 years old? The N-word? What even is that, dude? What the fuck is that? The C word? What are you talking about? Shut the fuck up. Dude, honestly, man, people are acting like little fucking children.
Yeah. So what's your plan now? You're running for Congress. You got my vote. I saw Jake Shields gave a message of support. Is this campaign going to be difficult? What's the road ahead look like?
I think we're going to have to really raise some money And I think the people in America are going to have to come together and understand the importance of this, you know, and it's not because I want to be in fucking Congress. Like, I don't want to do this, but me getting in there and shaking the motherfucking tree is going to be important. And I think it's going to pave the road to a lot more other people getting in these positions and feeling like it's actually possible and the whole thing isn't rigged. And maybe it is rigged, but you know what? Like, we're not going to find out unless we fucking try. And I just feel like we're at a time right now when everybody's fucking pissed. Everybody knows what's going on. Nobody's doing anything about it and nobody knows what to do. So, you know, I feel like, you know, I got no choice. It's like, you know, I would kick myself if I didn't do it. If I did it and didn't make it, well, okay, you know, I tried. Like, you know, what the fuck? I'm not going to regret that. Like, I don't regret all the failures that I've had in my life, and I've had a lot. I regret all the things that I didn't try. So I'm just not making that mistake going forward. Like, if I'm going to do something, if I want to do something, if there's an opportunity, like, fuck it, you know, we're gonna send it and see what happens. So here we are.
I think the campaign is already a good idea. It doesn't matter if you win or not. I mean,
what are you saying, guys? You think he'll win? I think he'll win if there's not any like dodgy business going on.
Obviously it does, and we're supporting you, but just that somebody like you is getting in there with the mentality that you have, okay, we've had enough, everybody's starting to wake up, something needs to be done, because we're really just sitting around here. What was crazy is seeing that the country was lit on fire for George Floyd, and then the Epstein files are not released, and everyone just sits around with their dicks in their hands. Nobody's doing anything. We all know this is happening, but we continue going through life as if things are normal without any sort of radical change. So this being the first step, okay, you know what, we had enough, this is clearly a problem, somebody needs to do something. This is a step in the right direction, and I fully support that. It's gonna be a hard road, and they're gonna keep on attacking you, but I think you're definitely 1-0 right now against TMZ. What else is coming up in this campaign?
Well, George Galloway reached out. He wants to do a show, which I think will be good. I talked to Candace. She said she's, you know, really focused on the Charlie thing, but she wants to do it. I think that would be good. I would like to get on Tucker and kind of, you know, look him in the eye and see what he's all about. I feel like, you know, he seems like he's doing a lot of good.
Yes.
I think he's got probably like a little bit of mainstream media still in him where he's probably scared to, you know, talk about certain subjects, but you can see he feels passionately about it. I mean, he dismantled Ted Cruz. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I actually didn't think his Huckabee was as good because I just don't like the gotcha stuff. I feel like it's a little unnecessary and it almost takes away a little bit of his credibility as opposed to, you know, just talking about the stuff, you know, like the facts. And I think with Israel and the support of Israel, there's so much unequivocal factual context that you can focus on that there's just not any need for, you know, kind of like cheap tricks or gotchas. So, but anyways, you know, I'm not trying, you know, I'm not trying to nitpick the guy. He's been doing a fucking great job. Obviously, you know, you do a ton of fucking interviews. You're not going to nail everyone perfectly. But I think what he's done for the movement has been insanely impressive. And to see, you know, Trump come out and attack him and attack Massey, it just further solidifies what a shitbag Trump is. I mean, I think anybody that has a reasonable IQ should be able to see it now. I mean, just how many lies he's told about the Iran war alone should tell you, you know, like this is not, I mean, I don't know. Like that's a big thing too, is like, I don't know why it's so socially acceptable to be lied to by the government. Like, the government should literally never lie to you. And that's why I go to the fucking news from Iran, is because, like, they're just always shooting you straight. You know, like, everything that they say gets backed up by what happens. You know, Trump, on the other hand, is like, oh, total air superiority, they can't touch us. Meanwhile, they shoot down 3 fucking planes 2 hours later. It's like, everything he said is a joke. Oh, they're out of missiles. And then we watch on live TV, like, fucking Israel getting shelled for the last, like, 30-something days. You know what I mean? Like, it's just all bullshit. And so, to me, I think that's another piece that, you know, I talked to Owen about that today, is like, we should pass laws where if you come into office promising things like new wars, whatever it is, if you go back on that, if you lie, if you are not upholding the things that you promise when you get into office, I think you should be impeached, and I think there should be, you know, some serious repercussions. Like, I think you should get sued for that. Because, I mean, how is that not fraud? How is that not operating in bad faith? If I tell you, hey, you know, if you elect me, I'm going to cut taxes, I get into office and then I raise taxes, like, how is that not fucking fraud? You know, how is that not operating under false pretenses? Like, it's just total fucking bullshit. And they get away with it. They get away with it all the time. And I just think that we need to bring some accountability to this fucking government.
Yeah, I mean, look at the insider trading. You can see the pardons he's giving to people. He's given pardons to all these rabbis and Jewish Zionists. Every speech he's doing, people are rigging the market and, you know, betting on prediction markets like Kalshi. George Galloway's great. I just did an interview with him recently, and he's had a similar trajectory. So he's like an outsider guy who has made a real difference in UK Parliament over the years. And what I like is that he believes in God. He seems like he doesn't really...
Wait, sorry, Tom said don't forget Trump is a reality TV star. Exactly that. I feel like Trump acts like a influencer rather than a president, you know?
Difference in UK Parliament over the years. And what I like is that he believes in God. He seems like he doesn't really fall into a specific religious category, but he's also not afraid of being called a socialist, right? Because he's a socialist. And people think that being a leftist means that you have to subscribe to all this transgender nonsense and everything. He rejects that all, and he understands it's bad. But he also has the Workers' Party and understands that the wealth gap is getting extremely it's getting wider and wider every year, and this is something that needs to be addressed. It's probably why Mamdani was so successful in New York. So I don't think a lot of people on the right are afraid. They're afraid to embrace that because they don't want to get labeled a communist. But somebody's going to need to address that because people in Gen Z, the average debt for us is $94,000. And 10% of us are going to be able to own a home or get married by the time we're 30 years old. So it's not being a commie or a socialist to talk about this clear wealth gap issue and this debt crisis.
Yeah, well, when you have a small group of people suck all the money out of your fucking country without providing any value, this is what you get, you know? And when you spend, you know, upwards of $20 trillion, you know, for the benefit of a foreign country, well, you know, this is what happens. So a lot of this stuff, we've kicked the can down the road, we print more money, we do this, we do that, we artificially pump the markets, but, you know, eventually this fucking Ponzi scheme is going to end. And, you know, I just don't understand how a government could not have laws and restrictions and things put in place to stop the debt from getting to 40 trillion fucking dollars. Like, how can we not balance a checkbook? Like, the whole thing is just crazy to me. I would completely dismantle the IRS. A total fucking waste of time. Like, if you're going to print dollars, just print more dollars. And then it literally takes from every single person proportionately, right? Because if you devalue currency at 1%, everybody pays that equal amount of tax. So if I have, you know, $10 billion, I'm going to pay, you know, a lot more than some guy that has fucking $5, right? So you're going to take the same amount from everybody. It's just the, you know, the people that have more money are going to pay more. So, and then there's nobody cheating. You don't have this massive bloated agency that basically goes after people and gives them a complete negative free roll. Because if I audit you and you're doing everything perfectly and I waste $1 million in legal fees, all your fucking time, tons of resources that you have to dedicate to, you know, complying with this audit, and I find out that you haven't done anything wrong, you still lost $1 million. You still lost out on that time. So it just fucks people that didn't even do anything wrong. And it's just a totally unnecessary thing. It's like, if you don't fucking everybody have to pay taxes and file all this shit, and you just take from them by printing dollars, you accomplish the same thing. So if you're going to print dollars, why not just print more and stop the entire IRS? Because the IRS is really like, the way the tax system is set up now is like all the super rich people just cheat their way out of taxes. Like Trump admitted it. He hasn't paid any fucking taxes. He turned to Hillary Clinton and said, yeah, but your donors haven't paid any fucking taxes either, you know? So the richest people are literally paying nothing because they're structuring it in such a way that they're not, you know, liable. And then what happens? You know, the average guy gets fucked because he doesn't fill out the form right. Nobody even teaches you how to fill the form out right. So then you have to pay all these fucking, you know, tax accountants and this and that. It's just such a waste of time. But, you know, the ATF, there's another agency that has absolutely no business fucking, you know, being there. Like alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Like, what the fuck are we regulating about tobacco and alcohol? You know what I mean? Like, this prohibition's been over for a long time. It's just stupid agencies. Just a total waste of time. Government's too bloated. It's massively fucking, you know, overgrown. It's like a cancer, and it's time to cut it out. So,
right. Elon Musk went in and he was trying to fix a lot of that bloat, but he hasn't said a word about the war. And you can see that the military-industrial complex, this is where, 70% of our budget goes to? So nobody's really cleaning it up. MAGA yesterday, it seems like that's the final nail in the coffin. That's over. He attacked Tucker, Megyn Kelly, Candace, and Alex Jones. What do you plan to do to appeal to that base? Because there's...
I was going to say as well, on Sneako's point, he said that Elon Musk hasn't said anything about the Iran war, but do you remember last time when he spoke about his support for Israel and then everyone was like blowing Teslas up the lot? So Elon's just probably scared of the repercussions because we all know what side he's on. He's on the side of fucking Trump the terrorist and Israel, so that's probably why.
A lot of people that are becoming extremely disillusioned with Trump and with the future of America.
Yeah, I'm not going to craft my message to appeal to anybody. My message is just going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be rooted in truth, and you're either going to like it or you're not, but you know, I'm doing people a favor here. This is not something that I want to do. I get no personal gain from this whatsoever. I'm trying to fix the country, and that is probably the only type of politician that you should have in office. The problem is we have all these opportunists getting in there, trying to get something from it, spending 90% of their campaign just raising money for the next campaign and pandering to their fucking donors. I mean, if you literally look up, go to ChatGPT or whatever, and like ask what most congressmen do, and most of what they do is campaign and try and raise more money and meet with donors and all these fucking meetings to just get reelected. Well, I don't want to get fucking reelected. I'm doing one term max. You got me for 2 fucking years. That's it. And then, you know, if the country's ready for it, maybe we do president. But, you know, for me, this is not something I want to do, but it's something that has to be done. And I'm going to spend 0 time campaigning. I'm going to spend 0 time fucking raising money. I'm going to spend 0 time with my fucking donors. So, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be. But this current system is absolutely broken.
You have a new website. Where can we check out and support this campaign?
Oh, shit. Let me look at it. It's...
I saw a Twitter page like Bilzerian.
Yeah, bilzerianforcongress.com. So, yeah, if we can raise enough money, we will just win. Like, we will hire people to go knock on doors, explain the problem to them, spread the message, and we will just win. The question is going to be, are people going to actually do something about it, or are they going to push it off and and just be lazy? Because really, another piece of this too is if we can mobilize the youth to get up and actually mail in a ballot. That's what's required, because the youth are the ones that are hip to this fucking problem. But the old boomers are the ones that are voting. So if we actually want to enact change, we have to get the people that are young and that care about this. And finally, for the first time, in my lifetime, there's been an issue that I think matters enough to where people will get up off their ass and go vote because they really fucking care. And so, hopefully we can have a good turnout and we can get some people. And it doesn't take a lot, if everybody just, donates 10, 20 bucks, whatever, like it adds up. And if the masses do that, especially the Muslims, man, because he is super fucking anti-Muslim, and I think one of the problems is that what these Jews do is they open the borders and they let in a bunch of Muslims from war-torn countries. And then they say, oh, here, look, it's the Muslims causing the problems. But it doesn't really matter if they're Muslim or Christian. A lot of this is they come from Africa. So if they're Ethiopian or Somalian, one of them's going to be all Muslim, one of them's going to be all Christian, but the crime's going to be the exact same. It's not a religious problem. The problem is you have military-age men that are coming from countries that we've fucking paid for them to get bombed. Their family members have been killed by our fucking tax dollars, so they probably don't have a lot of allegiance to our fucking nation. And then on top of it, you allow them to run around and just rape women with no consequences. Well, you're going to have problems, and that's what you fucking got in the UK. And they're more worried about arresting people for fucking anti-Semitic Facebook posts than they are about girls getting fucking gang raped. Anyways, I got to run, brother, but it was good talking to my man.
Appreciate it, man. Best of luck. Dan
Yeah,
Bilzerian for
have a good one,
Congress,
pal. All right, see you.
Dan Bilzerian. He's a no-nonsense guy. No nonsense. Dan the man. So yeah, there you go. I'm going to donate money. Support my guy. Support Dan Bilzerian. I'm going to put up some money right now. You got to put our money where our mouth is. He brings up a great point. We do all this talking.
Yeah, I suppose that's the interview. I thought it was longer than that. What do you guys think about Dan? Do you think he'll do a better job than these and Randy Fine is doing? And do you think he'll win the vote? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I think W Dan, man. It's better choice than anyone else, that's for sure. Better choice. Yeah. Is there anything else? Remember guys as well, go follow me on Kick. For those of you that haven't been in the stream the whole time, I'm leaving my job at the end of this month. I'm going away at the end of the month, and I'm leaving my job. Circumstances have changed. It won't be viable for me anymore. So I'm probably just going to try and give this streaming stuff 100% of my effort. I'm going to try to do daily streams, try to do minimum of 3-4 hours a day. And hopefully it all pays off, and YouTube, they don't pay me for my live streams or my clips, so if you follow me on Kick, I can get monetized there, and it will help me out a lot more than you think. Ibar Ahmed said IRL street interviews live. We're actually going out to do street interviews tomorrow. I don't know if I'll live stream it or not. I won't be live on desktop tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a little bit live, but I've only got one cameraman and he's going to be using my proper camera. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll do an hour or something while we're there. We'll see what happens, for sure. It's going to be a good video. You guys are going to like it once it's all ready. But yeah, I just needed to show you my Kick. So look, this is my Kick screen. I only need to get 6 more subscribers on Kick. I need to get an average of 50 viewers, which is going to be hard. And I've done the stream hours, and I need 100 unique chatters, and I've only got 28 more to go. So yeah, hopefully we can hit that. I just need you guys to give me a follow on there. I mean, there's 49 of us on YouTube. If any of you can follow me there, that would be great. That would be great. What's Saint? I don't know what Saint is. I'm not going to be in Baz tomorrow. No, I'm going to be out there doing a good video. You'll have to wait and see for tomorrow for the exact location. Do some research, best times to stream in the UK. I mean, yeah, that's the thing as well about, when I'm doing these random streams, where I'm working, I'm working around my timetable. I'm working around my timetable of my 9 to 5 job. So at least then I can announce we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it at X time every day, so it will be less all over the place. Ibar Ahmed said, "You're a sorry, I was reading 2 comments at once. Follow me on Kick. What's my name? My name's pinned in the live chat of YouTube. It should still be pinned. Let me just double check. Yeah, still there, still pinned. Yeah, thank you, Chris, for letting him know. I will copy and paste it again. in case you can't see it for some reason. You're a lot more deserving of a big audience than Doge Solomon. Well, thank you, brother. Yeah, I think it will go alright, guys. You know, it's just one of them things that it will take time. I'm sure I'll be okay. I can't copy the link. You always end up typing. There we go. Where's one on Kick? Thank you for that, brother. You always end up typing saint over saviour. That's fine, man. It's fine. Oh, okay. So where you touching down saviour? Oh, okay. Yeah, it'll be a surprise tomorrow. You'll have to wait and see. Maybe we'll do a little stream at some point. Yeah, but the Kick's at the top of the screen. There it is again anyway in the chat, just in case you can't see it. Yeah, OZW Dan, of course. Go to Canvey. Oh, we went Canvey before, but I know there's loads of Jews down there because I've drove through there like loads of times and seen them all, but it's hard to like find them down there. Like when you actually look for them, like they don't come out. It's weird. But then when you're like just driving through there like on a random one, it's like they're always about. But yeah, we may be going to talk to some Jews tomorrow. If you was in the chat, yeah, we're going to talk to some Jews tomorrow anyway. So I won't disclose the exact location yet, but you know, you have to wait and see. Let me know some comments as well in the chat of questions you want me to ask them. I'm obviously going to ask them about their position on the Iran war and Israel as a whole, does Zionism equal Judaism, Epstein regime. We'll ask them all sort of things like that. Jackie says, what other ways to support other than Kick? I mean, it depends how you're talking. Like, if you're talking like monetary ways, then you can check the description of the video for my donation links. Donating through Buy Me a Coffee is probably the best way because they take the less fees. To be fair, Kick's probably better as well because YouTube, the way YouTube works is it worked, Ivan, it worked. But yeah, the way YouTube works, they take 30% of your super chats, so you got to think every like £10 someone sends, they take 3, so it does add up. But Kick, they only take 5% of any donation, so like the best way to actually donate is definitely through Kick. And even if you don't want to donate, which is understandable, you know, you can just literally follow me on Kick and drop a comment on the live stream, and then that will help me get closer to this goal of them just paying me to stream anyway. So that's the reason why I always say to go there. Umar says, lad, you'll be a good bro, you're a gem that speaks truth. Yeah, I think I'll be alright, you know. I've always said that I wanted to do this full time, and I always like put it off. Like I'm always like, oh, obviously I've got bills to pay, you know, like we all have. And I always put it off, like, oh, I'll wait for this to happen, then I'll quit, then I'll wait for this to happen. And it's like there's always going to be hurdles in life, and then I feel like circumstances changed at my job, so I feel like I've just got to go for it, you know. I've just got to go for it. Do a collab with Jim Skin and go Ilford. What type of content does he do though? Because I know he's on Kick. I know he's from Essex, ain't he? But he's like, I swear he does like random like streams. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure what type of content he does. Yeah, thank you, Lucas. Jackie said, donating, I'm an oldie. I appreciate that, thank you. Whatever you can do helps, you know, even just a simple follower. Ludo's followed on Kick, thank you for that, brother. Yeah, exactly, Lucas, that's the best way, like, to support, you know, if you haven't got funds, then to just literally go on Kick, drop a comment in the live chat, and then that, the live chat would, you dropping a comment, it increases the average viewers, and it also makes the unique chatters go up. So let me get a refresh. I'm not sure if anyone... I don't think it updates live on stream anyway, to be fair. Yeah, it doesn't. But yeah, it helps out a lot. It helps out a lot. Divan said he's a good guy like me. What? Who's that? Jim Skin. Does he do like political stuff though? I don't know. There we go. Alpha Malfoy. Thank you for that Kick message. Thank you, and the follower. Thank you. Yeah, as I say as well, I can also do like other content as well. Like, so I was planning, like, when I start doing the streams full time, say for example, like I've got a dog, so I've got to walk the dog and that. So I wake up in the morning, I'll take the dog for a walk, grab some food or whatever. Then I'll do like my stream for like a few hours, let's say. Then I'll go take the dog out, and then maybe I'll even like go to the fucking gym myself, man, because I always work so hard. I'm a skinny guy, you know, and every time I try to go gym, like I just end up fucking slacking. I end up slacking, and I can't stick to it because of my work hours, like, because I work all day, 9 till 5:30, half 8 till 5:30, sorry. Then I'll go out, take the dog out. Then by then it's 6 o'clock, I'll start up a stream. Then I've got a stream for an hour or two. Then I'll have to sit there editing everything up. And then by then, like, the whole day's gone. So at least maybe then I can, like, try and focus on doing stuff like that. So maybe I'll even fucking stream me going to the gym or something, man, to keep me fucking locked in. Umar said that YouTube unsubscribed you of the channel. Yeah, I've seen a couple people say that, to be fair. And yeah, August says, eat more, brother, you need weight on you. Yeah, bro, I'll try, you know, I try, but like I say, I just work so hard. I work so hard that I always just put, like, work before everything. So at least if I'm just streaming, then I maybe will have some extra hours in my day. I'm also looking for clippers, guys. If any of you want to clip up these videos, post them on X, post them Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you want to post them. Like, it will help me out a lot because it shares my content to other people, and also you yourself can get monetized from it, you know. I always say as well in the description of my videos, if you send me the results of your videos, and if you get one that's like got a couple 100k views or even like a decent amount of views, then I'll literally give you money myself because it helps me out in the long run. So there's incentives there for anyone that wants to clip up. I'm always clipping everything myself, and it just takes a lot of my time out of my day. So yeah, anyone that's a good clipper, we need some viral clips going around, man. We need to get that going. So I'm just double check. I just had a notification on X. Yeah. Why are you quitting work, G? You getting paid the same now as your actual job? No, I'm not. Basically, my circumstances have changed. Like, I work for a sales company, so the requirements for me to, like, I'm really, like, failing at my job, really, because I'm always just focused on all of this stuff, editing and all that, and then, like, you have to hit target every month, and they take money away from you every time you don't hit your target. So yeah, I do have, like, an arts and crafts business I do on the side, which, like, pays me, like, not a lot of money, like £700 maybe a month. And obviously we get a couple £100 from Twitter, like 300-400 quid a month. And yeah, so I'm just hoping that with YouTube as well, if I go full time in it, then surely I can just get like £400 a month or something, like £500, and then that all combined into one hopefully will get me through my bills, you know. It'll help me get through. So that's the reason why, because right now I'm just getting, like, I feel like the 9-to-5 job is, like, holding me back from my goals, and I can never put the full time and effort that I want to into streaming. So it's like it's a gamble, but it's like an educated gamble, you know. Hopefully it'll work out. I feel like everything you put your mind into will be fine in the end. So we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully I don't end up homeless. No, I'm joking. But yeah. Fancy working in Lakeside. I mean, I'm not really trying to go to another job right now. I'm not trying to go, like, leave this job to go to another one. Yeah, a few hours desktop live, couple hours in real life for you will. Yeah, that's what I'll plan to do, you know. I'll do some street interviews and stuff like that as well live. We'll see what happens. It'll be alright, I think. Have faith in God, you know, have faith in what you do. It should be all fine. Sales sucks. I work in real estate sales myself. Yeah, I think maybe, like, real estate sales and stuff like that is, like, better. It's probably better because I heard there's, like, better money in it anyway. I'm not sure, I've never done it, but that's all, like, face-to-face sales, ain't it? Mine's, like, calling people up on the phones and all that annoying stuff, you know. Who wants to fucking talk to someone on the phone? Like, if someone called me, I wouldn't even want to talk to them, you know. Umar, no way, a graphic writer. You have any fonts or sketches? Hit me up. Nice one, brother. That's great to hear. I'll definitely keep you in mind, man. If I need anything, shoot me a DM on X or something and let me know it's you. Barcelona said, I think the best exposure for you would be to find out when live reporters and their cameramen are rolling, probably in London, such as BBC. Then cold approach them live, ask about Gaza, Palestine. You'd be the first to ever ask Jewish/Israeli reporters directly about Gaza and Palestine. Ask their entire crew what about it and why. Yeah, I know. We'll try to do something like that. That'd be interesting for sure. Jackie says, if you don't know, you don't try, you'll never know. Exactly that. It's like what Dan was saying in his interview with Sneeko just then that you don't want to live in regret and think, oh, I wonder if I tried this, what would have happened. So it's worth a shot, isn't it? It's worth a shot. What's the worst that's going to happen? I feel like worst that's going to happen is I'm just going to have enough money for my bills. Hopefully that will be the case. I'll have enough money for my bills, and I'll have to just survive off of that. But you know, you never know, it could go the other way. It could blow up, you know, it could blow up and I could do really well for myself. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't think there's much more going on about this. We don't think there's any more going on about these peace talks. I suppose I'll just leave it all, I guess, let it all build up and then we'll go over it all properly. Oh yeah, we can't even go over it tomorrow because I'm going out fucking recording tomorrow. I don't know. I do know that I've got to take my dog out in a minute, so I'll wait 4 more minutes and then I'll take the dog. The world's your lobster, exactly. Thanks, Barcelona. Alpho said, so what made you like this, bro? Did you take government politics in school? How did you get smarter than much others your age? I mean, bro, I'm not like, I always tell everyone this, I'm not an expert in none of this. I don't really consider myself smart in any of this stuff either. I just saw a lot, to be honest, most of the stuff was like, all the stuff on the news about like Russia and Ukraine, that was what, like, I saw all of that on the news when it first was kicking off, just before it kicked off, to be fair. And then I wanted to know like more, like I just didn't believe, like I've never really been one of those guys that believed what the government says. When I was a kid I used to watch like loads of conspiracy theories online, you know, like all the Illuminati shit and all that. I used to watch all that. And then yeah, then so when all the news was saying about Russia and Ukraine, I just wanted to look into it more. And then I was on Twitter and I started seeing loads of stuff from both sides. So I started learning about that. I started joining loads of Telegram groups so I could see breaking updates from around on the ground. And yeah, and then basically I started seeing all the stuff in the West Bank, because loads of the Telegram groups that was posting about it, this was like 2022, so this is like a year before October 7th, like over a year before then. And then I made a Twitter account like to actually post. I started posting about Russia and Ukraine, and I started seeing all this stuff in the West Bank, all these like crazy shit going on, like Palestinians' homes being destroyed, people getting abused, beaten, women getting killed, like everything. And then I was like, oh shit, like, it's crazy, what's going on in Palestine? I used to see people say free Palestine, so then I started looking into that a bit more, and I was like, oh damn, like, it's mad what's going on out there. And then October 7th came round, and then I saw the media rush to defend Israel for some reason and say that Palestine was the aggressors. But bearing in mind, I've already been looking like for a year straight of all the stuff that they've been doing in the West Bank, so then I just thought, you know what, I've been posting a lot about Russia and Ukraine, let me post about what's going on in Gaza. And I only had like 500 followers at the time, and I was posting loads of stuff about Palestine, like the truth about what was going on out there. And then after that, I went from like 500 followers, like probably like the 17th of October, like a week after, I went to like 1,000 in like one day, like from 16th to 17th, like 1,000. Then after that I went from like 1,000 to like 5,000 or something, and then from that it was like 5 to 10k, and then from 10k it was like, by the end of the month I had like 50k followers on X, so like really happened really quickly. And then yeah, so since then I just felt like it was my duty to keep posting about what's going on out there. I thought I've got a platform now, so it's my duty now. I can't, like, people are relying on me for news, people are relying on me to see what's the truth of what's going on, because the Western media ain't covering it. So started posting about it all the time, and then from there really I just started seeing all of these, like, I'm not an expert, like I keep saying, and I started seeing all these experts coming out, these so-called experts coming out and talking about what's going on. And I thought, what about the normal people on the streets and the people living at home? What do they want to say about this? You know, what does the average citizen feel about this? And that's when I decided to start doing the street interviews. So then I took it a step further, went out onto the streets to ask people questions about the conflicts that are going on in the world, the Israeli lobby and all this shit. And yeah, I suppose that's just how it all started. It was just me wanting to learn, like, just kind of caused it all as well, because I wanted to hear what other people said and learn more. So yeah, it's just like a brief story of it really. That's how it all came along. Develop a love of books. They're still second to none for deeper knowledge and understanding. Yeah, I've read a couple of books regarding Palestine, But the thing is, like, what books do you read? What books are propaganda? What books are written with agendas? So if you guys recommend me anything, I'll be sure to have a look. Especially when I'm going to be having some extra time off of like not working and stuff. I'll be able to do more things like that, really. Oh, thank you, Umar. I appreciate that. I'm a good news source for you. You learned a lot about Zionists, Occupy Palestine, all the history from normal thinkers down. Max Blumenthal. Yeah, Max Blumenthal, the Grey Zone, they're sick. They do great work. Let that be a testament that you can do it, or you already been in it. Yeah, Jackass for me, I just got to believe in myself, and I think I'll be alright. If people don't know, Google ARYUSJ, nuke Japan. Yeah, hopefully this Iran stuff will be over now. I hope so anyway, at least for the time being. Yeah, but I need to go and walk my dog and go get some food and stuff. I've been streaming for like 3 hours now. But I appreciate everyone so much for tuning in, and I appreciate all of your supporting words as well. It helps me have faith in myself, you know, knowing that other people have got faith in me, so I'm sure I'll be okay. So I appreciate everyone's kind words and support. And yeah, I suppose tomorrow I'll be going out recording, asking Jews questions. Maybe I'll do a little stream while I'm out, and hopefully we'll catch up tomorrow, you know. But if not, I'll be back to the normal desktop streams on Monday. So yeah, thank you everyone so much for tuning in, and we'll catch up again soon. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Peace out, everyone. Thank you so much.
Today, we are super fucking happy about it. So ladies and gentlemen, take a moment to like and empty the space. Let's bring some more people in here to enjoy the celebration. Yes! The farewell party to the Savior.
Say goodbye and farewell for this motherfucker that put the fucking video of the fucking hostage. So this is a fucking farewell for me, okay?
Because he shouldn't exist from the get-go. He should have been executed by the Mossad long time ago, and I've been asking for this for a long time. And I was talking to my commander. I'm telling him, listen to me, needs to go.
I think that you need to gather all the bios, eliminate them.
He deserves to be genocided like all the other Nazis, and he's a convicted fucking criminal. And they pissed the hell out of me. This fucking Hamas and giving them a voice after October 7, and us Jews and Israelis can live peacefully. I hate him.
Great.
I hate him.